Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Let me move this out of the way. Hello. Come on in and sit right down. We're going to talk about the second part of my interview with Sebastian because I left y'all hanging today and I don't like to do that. So that's what we're going to do. But before we get started with that, I want to tell y'all a little something I found out, honey. And y'all, we don't want to forget Summer Wells either, right? We don't want to forget Summer, okay? Summer Wells has been missing since June 15th, right? 2021. She was age 5 from Kingsport, Tennessee. And guess what? Scanner Food had out about an hour ago that Pressman home was on fire, baby. How about that? Well, that's sad. I was like, that couldn't be real. Then I went to look. JSB wasn't online. Nobody was online. I was like, where's everybody at? They must have gone to see too. They must be gone to look and see. So I hope somebody reports on that soon. I was like, hey, not again. Remember last time it was the horse stables. It's sad that everything is just burning down in that town. But I hope everything gets under control soon. So I wanted to let y'all know about that. Hey, Raised in the Boondocks. Hello, good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good tonight. Hope you're doing good tonight. Hope you had a great day. Hope everything's been good for you today. I have not stopped since I got offline. I've not stopped. I did stop a smidgen to kind of go in 2 chats today or this evening or whatever. I think it was 2, just 2. I'm trying to catch up. Thank you, I did. It was pretty good today. Just keeping busy. I hope it's warm where you're at. I hope it's warm. They see it's cold here. They said tomorrow it's going to be cold. I don't like this cold weather here. I see some people in the bushes. Hello, hello. Sometimes that's a good, safe place to be. I don't know. But tonight we're going to talk again about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. We're going to keep his name out there. I'm going to keep his name back out there as much as possible. You're in Kentucky and it's been kind of chilly there. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Hello, hello. Welcome in, Shirley. How are you? I hope you're doing good tonight. I'm a late night owl tonight. You ready for snow? Yeah. I hope next time I go to Tennessee, which will be shortly again, I'm never going to get settled. I don't feel like I'm ever going to be settled the rest of the year. Hey, Karen, Jack of all trades. Garrett, hello, hello, hello. You're not late. Nah, you're not late. You didn't miss nothing. But I hope when I go back to Tennessee, I would love to wait till I got there, though, to see a huge snow. I don't like to drive in. I don't like to drive in the ice, of course. No ice. Especially there. No traffic, no ice, no nothing. But I'd love to see one good big snow. I am on late, but I told y'all I'll be back, and I figured I'd play the other half tonight, and I've just been doing everything. I haven't got a chance to change, shower, or nothing yet. So, well, here I am. Hey, daycare mama. As long as it gets you snow days from work. Hey, Casey. Thank you. Oh, yeah. It's beautiful there. And anybody that has not been to Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg around Christmas time, I'm just telling you, it's beautiful. I was telling somebody the other day, they're like, oh, all this happens in Tennessee and da-da-da. I don't want to go, da-da. I'm like, go. Go to the Smoky Mountains. It's beautiful. Especially this time of year. Wintertime's great. I hadn't done nothing with myself tonight. Tonight since today. Thank you. You were stuck on who CP talked at the sheriff office at 6:30 in the morning when the office don't open until 8. Well, see, and remember, he called a direct line. Yeah. So there's that. I guess we'll never know. Never, ever, ever until it comes out. I'm confident when it, in my opinion, comes out in court. You know what? I'm so sick of this shit. I really am. I feel like if we have to say, in my opinion, and so and so and so and so, then I feel like they should too. Honestly. What's good for me is good for thee. Just saying. Why didn't Katie go to the sheriff who lived down the road? You know what? I don't know, but I swear to Jesus, if I didn't want to call the Sebastian's father, I would go. If I had a neighbor that was a cop, while she was at first frantic, and she said she was in one of the interviews running around. I swear before Jesus, I'll be going and beating on the cop's door down the street. That's just my opinion. Yeah, in your opinion, speculation. It's all good. It's all good over here in Smiley's Hood. But that's the truth. It's the truth. I thank you all for being here once again tonight. I really do. I know it's hard to sit and listen to something so long, especially when it's my mouth, and then you got to sit here and watch me on screen, and then I got to listen to it again too. We know we done heard bits and pieces of it 100,000 times. John Q said he never says in my opinion or allegedly because you already have a disclaimer posted. Well, sometimes I get angry and say, it is what it is. Let's see, where's it at? Where did that go? I am just months away from a degree in criminal justice, and their story is a flat out bullshit story. And anyone that is blind can see it. Exactly. I've said that millions of times. But where did that one go? Oh, maybe my cursor's on it. Hold on. There was something I missed. I wanted to see. Y'all know I'm blind is bad. And I know that just didn't disappear. Oh, thank you, Raised in the Boondocks. Okay, I know I seen something about Cajun Neighbor, but I don't know where it went. I promise I ain't be looking at it. I'm just tired. Hi, Arnie Rose. Smiley, I don't know, but I stand on something isn't right with KP and CP, in my opinion. Screw the speculation. I mean, yeah, sometimes I just get mad and I go, I'm not saying that. I mean, y'all, the truth is the truth is the truth. And if you go to court or whatever, how can the truth bite you in the butt? Hey, Guidance, hello, honey. Hello. Now I'm irritated because I can't find that. Maybe it was up here somewhere. Or maybe it just got off of there. Something about a Cajun Neighbor. I know I'm not seeing things. Now I'm hallucinating. Are y'all playing tricks on me? Are you playing tricks on me? Well, it's gone. That's all I can say. Oh, hold on a minute. This is in a... Oh, I want to tell y'all something. See, this reminds me, don't ever come in my comments. This and this is not a text. This is a message on Messenger, and they're telling me something in a private message about what's going on. Because see, we get information as we're doing our lives, and I'm taking up for all creators, whether you know it or not, good, bad, or indifference. Don't trolls or assholes don't come in my comments and tell me, just like yesterday or the day before you did, and you know who you are. See, I'm trying to be good, Smiley, but this irks my nerves, and I'm just setting the table here. Don't come on my comments and say, oh, God, don't answer. Why do you answer your text? That gets on my nerves. Well, first of all, nobody told you to be here. Second of all, you're not the only freaking one in the room, and just what I said to you. And I'll say to every one of you, that was my family, and my family comes above everything and everybody and anybody. And right now I'm going through a crisis, and I don't give a damn who likes what I answer on my phone. So that part. Now I'm going to check this just a second to see what they said because it looked important. So excuse me just a minute. Now, that's something I do need to look up pertaining to the case, but I can't put it out right now. Thank you. I'm not trying to be a butthead, but that just made me think about it. Just triggered me because you don't know what us creators have to know or find out. That's how we get information. Sometimes I just totally cut my phone off when I'm able to. You pissed in my Wheaties. Somebody from yesterday. But sometimes when it pops in my head, if something triggers me, I just gotta go back on it. I gotta set the table. Gotta set the table. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I'm just getting my hellos out and everything, getting everything clear. It's all good. But no, back to this. Back to the farm, Smiley. Back to Smiley's farm. I know everything is hard to listen to, so I do appreciate y'all, um, coming back and listening to the second half. Again, I couldn't sleep anyway. But every time that I listen to it or listen to anybody's, I always hear something new. And it's everything that's been said after all of the interviews that's been done, whether it be mine or anybody else's, what's been said with all the in-betweens, if you go back and you listen to them, the in-between stuff kind of makes more sense. Maybe it didn't make sense at the time or you didn't understand it at the time, but it actually makes more sense now or months later, because you can kind of put it together better, you know. So also, I hope the LE is doing that. Y'all might say, oh, they don't have time for that shit or whatever. Well, one thing I can assure y'all of, I said it back then and I'll say it again tonight. I don't know about anybody else's. I don't try to make anybody else's, any other creator's business my business. They might try to make mine their business. I don't have time to make their business my business. But, excuse me, but one thing that I know for certain, and I said it then and I will say it now, and I have the receipts to back it up, but at the end of the day, it don't matter. This interview that we're watching right here, Sumner County, whether they do anything with it or not, I don't know. I really don't care. But not only do they have the entire interview, they come back and ask me to take 3 pieces out and send 3 of those pieces back. So ever since I've done this interview and that happened, I've rested pretty easy. So they again have 3 pieces that they specifically asked for and wanted, and they have the entire interview. What they did with that, what they wanted with that, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I hope they're all TBI, FBI, Sumner, although I don't trust them. I hope they're all going back listening to everybody's interview just like we are, because in every one of them, every time I hear something different. I hear something different. So yeah, what's his name? Brandon Carter? Yeah, he's got mine. So you might want to hear that, Chris. Are you going to tell him what you told Seth on, or what you sent out a message on Web Sleuth? If he opens his mouth like Bobby Simmons, he'll never open his mouth again. I don't know. Well, too late, honey, because I don't know who all's got that by now. Well, we all know mine. Unfortunately, the whole damn world's got it by now, but I'm just saying. Mr. Carter's damn sure got it. Anyway. Yeah, they're paying attention. I don't know who's talking, why they're not talking or coming out, but yeah, somebody's paying attention. Yeah, every single time, like I said, even with mine, I hear something different. I hear something entirely different. And it's just like with those, did I show y'all this today? Hold on just a minute. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Hold on. Let me just make sure I can find it again. I will show you this. Okay. Did I showed y'all this, right? Because I showed y'all yesterday, and it didn't have Sebastian in it. But I did show y'all this today, right? This is before Sebastian went missing, and it has his shoe, or I don't know whose shoes it is. It has somebody's shoes on the floor. In Olivia's interview I did yesterday, it was after Sebastian was missing, and there were shoes again where they did the interview by the table. And it's ironic to me that they lied about that, something so simple as that. Why? Why? Yeah, and why didn't they use that picture? I don't know. Floodlight just above the garage, but the floodlight also you have on corners of your home. Right. And we are listening with innocent ears 8 months ago and trying to find Sebastian and be helpful. Yes, that's why, too. Tell me about it. My sleep has been so, I haven't had a decent sleep since Summer went missing. Actually, my sleep has been, I can't even explain. I haven't had a solid 8-hour sleep, and I don't even know when. Yeah, I mean, isn't that weird? And why? And they did that with Summer too. Why does it should be mandatory? Mandatory that you put a recent photo out of your missing child. What is with all the younger pictures and stuff like that? It should be mandatory. And then with Sebastian and stuff, I even asked this in the interview, and Chris did clear it up. But on the flyer, on the Amber Alerts and everything else, there was so many conflicting stories as to what exactly he was wearing. Do you not think it made a difference on whether them pants had white stripes or not? Do you not think it made a difference if they were looking for a person, child or not, with solid shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, or something with a picture on it or not? Yes, it made a difference. And it could have made a difference, life or death. In my opinion, had he have run away. That's my opinion. Yeah, we haven't been on here too long. You might want to start from the front, Weezer. Well, you can skip about 5 minutes or 10 or something. Hey, Hoot 3. Yeah, I may need to get me something because I just can't sleep good at all. I hadn't had like I said, solid. And then now all this is going on with my mom and everything's going through my brain and I just can't. sometimes I'm falling asleep in my, either straight up in my chair or on the couch or just wherever, It's just not good. Different stories, younger pictures, clothes wrong, um, you know, all the misinformation. Well, here's the thing. I don't know about all that, you know, but there was talk, even from their own mouth, about him getting up in the middle of the night and getting snacks. And that wasn't, hey, true crime, that wasn't something that they liked very much. So, of course, I feel like if your kid's hungry, they're going to eat. They're going to eat when they want to eat, and let them eat. Why would you be mad if your child wanted to eat? Why would you be upset about that? But, of course, that's just me. I can't. Can I come? I'd love to. I'd love to go up on that mountain too and see some snow. I would. And I'd love to have some cobbler pies. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they sure don't. And that's not being rude. But I think, you know, some people, when they get nervous or even depressed or whatever, with all the goings on, suing everybody, taking everybody to court, one looking over their shoulder. I don't think it's so much, this is my opinion again, I don't think it so much has to do with Sebastian being gone. I, and two, I think they're living their best life. They're able, I just, never mind. Never mind. I ain't going to go there. But I think that, sometimes you do get depressed when you're having to look over your shoulder. Things don't turn out the way you think they're going to turn out. And, a lot of people just eat and they gain weight. And that's, they both have. Some people lose weight. God, I wish I was one of those people. I sure as heck ain't one of those people. And bingo. I mean, do we know that for a fact? Nah. Is it probable? Yeah, considering that all that was in the background in their kitchen in the photos, considering that at least one of them slurs, and but hey, they're grown. They're 40 and whatever. I mean, when you have 5 wives and you a big boy and you can work and you carry your own, well, hell, can't nobody say nothing. You can do what in the hell you want to do, right? Right. Right. It ain't for me to judge that, you know? It ain't for me to judge that at all. I just hope they ain't doing that on them motorcycles and in their cars and all that. But hey, only thing I care about is where's Sebastian, you know? But that's just me. Yeah. I hope, same thing. I hope he's found either way. Oh, I missed you, Babs. Thank you. I hope he's found either way. I really do. Can you imagine Chris and Katie when they were dating? When they were dating, him having to go through a list of ex-wives and reasons they divorced. Girl, mom. Mm-mm. No, um, I would actually question that a whole bunch, but, um, you know, I don't know, maybe, you know, she probably, I mean, she probably fell real in love with him and, listen, I've always said, I can't fault her. Look, you can't help who you love. You really can't. You can't help who you love. You know, the heart wants what the heart wants. Um, and I imagine with all these women, he probably was a good guy. He had the money to, you know, wine, dine, and not be Mr. Frankenstein until he tied the knot, right? Um, yeah, and I mean, he was in the Navy with most of these women and was bound and determined he was going to make a career for himself. And um, I can see I can see Chris. I can see Chris um I can see him talking himself into these women's lives. Justin, you're changing a diaper. I love me some monkey. I love you, monkey. I love me some Remy Pearl. Ah, I can't wait till the day I can see her in person. Um, well, he is. But what he does is his type of person is he will wrap these women around, and I don't know if that's the narcissistic part or not, but he will wrap these women around his fingers and he will do everything he can to make them fall in love with them. Smooth talker. I bet he's the type that pulls the chair out and opens the car door. Everything under the sun. Even if he's cussing them under his breath. Okay? That he's not showing any control. He's not showing any of that stuff. Right. And then he's like, and he gets the weak and vulnerable ones. Okay? Yeah, he promises them the moon, the sun, everything. And then when they tie the knot, because he's promised them the world, the honeymoon's over with. The honeymoon's over with before it got started. That's the type of person I think he is, in my opinion. And then I think he becomes very controlling. This is my opinion. I think these women are too weak to stand up to him. I think he becomes violent with them. I think he tries to blackmail them. This is my opinion. He hurt Rachel real bad. From what I've seen from Nina's interview, she told it herself. We'll go over that one at some point. I feel like she still, in my opinion, maybe not now to this day, but on the end, after he was married to Katie, she still didn't grasp, maybe she still don't grasp how he got married so soon after they, broke up or whatever. I mean, I think she really had real hard feelings for real, like she really loved him, even after all he put her through. Now, I can't speak for her feelings or whatever, but that's the way I took it. Even though she really felt her life was in danger and stuff, she said herself, she was on the phone with him and she would say, I can't believe you moved on so fast. Hey, Patty. And he's eating that shit up. Trust and believe. I don't think he ever intended on having any children whatsoever. But then they had Faith, and he wanted to control that situation and still does. But that's going to be left up in there. That's my opinion. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. 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 Sharon said, I have 9 kids and 7 grandkids. Well, bless you. Bless you. I know it's all love, Sharon. and you know what? There was early on, and Justin might pop back in here and just say yes or no, but it was rumored, I'll say, early on, there was a waitress in Mississippi, I believe. I believe it was in Mississippi. If I have to go back and look, where he was trying to, have an affair with, but, yes, Justin said yes. Yes, see, yes. Yep. So, this is at the bar, absolutely. And he would go in there and get tea every day. He wouldn't go in there and get alcohol or anything. He was trying to be a smooth operator, Justin said. Yes. So, okay, honest question. None, or Nina's the only one, and I had just asked him earlier in my live earlier. Nobody, I did ask him that question. Did anybody have any stepchildren? Nina's the only one that had children. So he's like, yeah, I talked to him and whatever. That's because he has to talk to his child or whatever. So no, other than that, no. But nobody else did, and he didn't have any other children. He made it clear he has one child on God's green earth, and that's Faith. and that's Faith. And in case, since obviously you missed that, his other wife, I don't know which one, what was she, number 3, Rachel? Anyway, he tried to play it off, but come to find out, he tried to play it off like, oh, my mom talks to him and yada yada. And Rachel will never speak, but Rachel was almost beat to death. She was laying in a pool of blood. So there's that little tidbit. He lied about that too. He tried to be like, Rachel, what about Rachel? What are they trying to ask about Rachel? Oh, Rachel. So yeah, Chris is not a good man. So I think in my opinion, there's just a lot of stuff that we don't know. Why is Katie still staying there? Sometimes I honestly, oh, you didn't know that, Justin, about Rachel? Ooh, we'll have to talk about that sometime. And she won't ever talk to nobody. She won't. I found that out the day after my interview. My phone was blowing up, and then I had screenshots and stuff. Well, I shouldn't really say what I got, but anyway, not on here anyway. But yeah. See, she was in the military too. That's where they met. But allegedly, and left her laying in a pool of blood. I said it. And I have information at that point that she is not going to speak with nobody. Smiley, how did you find out about that? What do you know what happened? I just told y'all when I was on the interview with Chris. Let me explain this again. When I was on the interview with Chris, I didn't know nothing about who in the hell his ex-wives were or anything like that. Somebody kept asking me to ask about Rachel. I said, who is Rachel? And he's like, who's Rachel? What about Rachel? Or something like that. He said, oh, let me tell you, I had 5 wives, and he named all of them, but we all get along and yada, 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 whatever. I just played it today. Y'all can go back and listen to it. And he's like, in the first half, and he's like, we all get along, yada, yada. And everybody kept texting me and stuff, which I couldn't get the text. And I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the interview. So he named every one of his wives. Rachel was the 3rd wife. That's right. It was Vanessa, Stephanie, Rachel, Nina, and then Katie. And then I'm like, well, okay. So I was just taking his word for it. They're all good. They talk to my mom. It's so good. They talk to my mom and yada, yada, yada. Everybody in chat was calling me a liar because everybody obviously knew that except for me because I didn't know. I'm always the last one to know. So I get off the phone and I'm looking at my text and I'm like, holy shit. So I had a source, and the source told me basically what happened. They sent me the receipts, which I still got, and I'm like, will she talk? And they sent me them receipts like she's not talk. They had talked to her, but they're like, she is not talking to nobody, not ever. And I'm like, okay. But if y'all look at her picture, I'm going to tell y'all something serious. This is me. She might not think so if she hears this, or if y'all look, I don't know if y'all will think so or not. I just come across it again the other day because I looked. She does have a Facebook. And if you look at her Facebook, to me, guess who she reminds me of? She reminds me a little bit of how Katie looks. That's who she reminds me of. Has any of y'all seen that? And do you think the same? Because that's who she kind of looks like to me. She's got the reddish hair. It's not just that. It's just kind of how she's built. It's kind of how she looks. I just looked at it again. It's been, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 months. And I'm like, holy shit. They look alike, man. You see, yeah. And she's all in her military uniform. What I really wish, even if they had to keep their face covered, which most everybody, the creators know who they are, because of course everybody looked them up. Even if they keep their face covered, I really wish, of course that might not be a good idea because of Chris. Nina come out and spoke. I just wish every one of them ex-wives would come out and speak and tell their story. People say, well, what does that have to do with Sebastian missing? Maybe nothing, but guess what? It might have everything to do with Chris's attitude. Again, same thing about Rachel. Exactly how Chris is. They might even know Katie. We don't know who and what they know. Hey, Julie. Let's see. I would like to see Seth take those CPS files to police and press charges for child abuse. Exactly. Yeah, and it has a lot to do with how he behaves. Everything has a lot to do with this case that, again, I thought we were all supposed to be on the same side, and that was Sebastian's side. Not worrying about tearing others down. I thought we were supposed to be all on one side, and that was Sebastian's side. Not, well, this don't have nothing to do with that. Why are you bringing this up? Why are you bringing that up? Because one dot may connect to another dot that may connect to another dot that may have to do with Sebastian. We don't know. We don't know. So there's that part. Honestly, I don't know that. I don't know if anybody else knows or not with the recycle plant. What is the ties with the sheriff's office and the recycle plant? I honestly don't know that. If I don't know, I'll just tell you I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it reveals his character, honestly. But let's go ahead. I think I'm going to pull up the rest of this video, and we'll watch it and see what else we can catch in it. You never know. You never know. Hold on a minute. Let's get this down. Let's see here. Chris just dropped off again. Let me see if I can put this back in here. Sorry. And he may be back too. Let's see. Paste. I'm sorry, I have to do it like this.
Y'all, for clarification, no, I did not allow him to beat my son with a belt. He did not beat my son with a belt.
Okay. Josh wants to call in real fast. Let's see. Hold on a minute. Okay, hold on. Just call. Josh was going to call him out. This was another lie. Okay. Josh wants to call in real fast. He's been wanting to ask y'all a question, and I guess he can't get me to see it or something. So I just told him to call real fast. If that's okay. Josh the wrong number, and I don't even know what I was doing. He texted me, and I just happened to see it. If that's okay. And nobody take this. I'm trying to get this link back out. So Chris, what kind of stuff? Oh, and he's done. Oh, thank you, Annie. Thank you. He's probably going crazy. I put the wrong phone number in there. Anyway, oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. He's like, he's going to come up here just a second. Josh, sorry, I put the wrong phone. I put the wrong number in there.
Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah, I put the wrong number in there. So
okay, is Chris still here?
Can you drop the link again?
He fell down, but yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. When I was talking to Chris earlier, and him and I were messaging, and I asked him about DCS, and he said the only case that DCS has open is because Sebastian ran away.
Okay,
yeah,
sorry about that.
Yeah, Chris, Josh was going to call me, and I accidentally punched a 3 instead of a 2 or whatever, and he jumped up here on panel. And, he wanted to ask you something, actually. Sorry.
Fire away, man.
Well, so you and I we messaged earlier on Facebook, and I had asked you about DCS, and you said that there were no other interactions with CPS or DCS except for Sebastian going missing, which I then told you, but that's not mandatory necessarily unless CPS was already involved. So now, you're not really being honest.
Wait a minute. You asked me, because I'll read the messages to everybody in God country. You asked me if there was an active CPS case on Sebastian. That's what you asked. And I told you, yes, there was, because the sheriff's department told us that they had to report it because he was missing. That's what you asked. Now, you also started to ask if there was another case, and there was no other case that I know of that's active. That's what you asked.
I didn't know what to do. Josh?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, like I said, sir, I'm brash. I'm to the point. Be respectful.
Can you hear
me?
And
I will tell you, and I'll be honest, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I got nothing to hide.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, he said, okay. Can you hear him, Josh?
I can hear him, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Oh, I just said, well, in the messages that I asked that it was pertaining to Sebastian's school, right? Like you just said. And you said, no, other than him going missing, no CPS cases.
Thank you. I sure wasn't prepared.
Got it. I can't hear. Maybe that.
He didn't say anything. Can you hear him, Chris? I felt like
Hello?
Playing games.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can now.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you didn't ask. You asked about active cases. That's what you asked about, and I answered your question.
You did. You answered my question.
Hello. Hello.
He said you answered his question. I can hear you. Can you hear him, Josh?
Okay. I can't hear him.
Okay. Can y'all now? I think
so he's asked me, and I can't pull it up because if I pull it up, then we lose contact. But he asked me if there was active DCH, CPS, whatever you want to call it, case with Sebastian. And I said, yes, he's missing. I was told by the sheriff's department that they had to report it. So yes, there's an active case. Is there anything other than that? No, there's not an active case. So my statement that I told you is true.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I get it, the active investigation, or yeah, but you did really. Maybe it's just because of text, but you make it seem like there was no, like that this was the first time that they'd ever been involved at all.
No, I didn't insinuate. Now, understand something. Words on paper are simply words on paper. Whatever emotions you put behind them is directly proportionate to yourself, not me.
Oh, sir, I didn't put any emotion behind it. I'm just saying.
But you're saying you're trying to insinuate on this show.
No.
Yes, you did. Yes, because you just stated that you said that I made it sound like this. No, I didn't. I told you, I gave you a direct statement, gave you your answer, and that right there is exactly what I'm talking about. Then you called into the show and you said, "No, you're lying." No, I'm not lying. So call a spade, but make sure you're right. Now, to be honest with you, it has nothing to do with finding my son.
You don't think that? You don't think? Okay. All right. Well, look, man.
How does CPS have to do with anything finding Sebastian? Because if you're insinuating something,
well, you said they opened up an investigation. You said they opened up an investigation. You tell me what it has to do with him.
Because what did I tell you? That's what you're not listening. The sheriff's department told us that they are required to report it to DCS, CPS, whatever you want to call them. They are required to report it to them. Mm-hmm. That answer has yet to change. It hasn't changed any of the slightest.
Sorry. I said I'm in Sebastian's camp, period. I personally don't have to agree with y'all. Y'all don't have to agree with me. That's fine. I've said it 100 times. I personally don't think that he's alive, but I hope and pray he is. But there is so many. See, now when we go back over all this and then the new things coming out, that's why it's important, because even I cannot deny certain things. And I see so many things that it could be, but you'll never make me, I don't care if the police finds him and stands up there and does a press conference tomorrow, make me believe that he's a runaway, period. But could they have him tucked away somewhere in some of these states that, Dog and all them's looking? Yes. And he could be alive and well, and I hope for Seth and them's sake that he is. Could somebody have, come in and took him while Katie was being on the phone with Chris? Could that have been a lure for them to somebody he knows that was sent there, and Katie was being distracted on that phone them hours? Yes, absolutely. Do we know that for a fact? No. Could he have not even made it home for dinner? Abso-freaking-lutely. Could this whole thing have been staged? It most certainly could have. We don't know. Could she have carried him out, drugged, not dead, but drugged, asleep, or even not drugged, and told him, Bubba, lay down, let's play a game, so no cameras could see him in the car? Babs, this is just scenarios, okay? Can y'all please think outside the box? She could have took him and met up with somebody that morning in that little time. Anything's possible. But if you didn't just hear what I said, I believe what my guts told me all along from day one. I believe he's unfortunately no longer with us. And I believe, again, in my opinion, allegedly it lies right there in the house. Whether it was her, him, or for others. Okay? That's what my belief is. And if I'm wrong, I can say I'm sorry later. But Katie locked herself in for whatever reason. I mean, I'm just saying, let's just pretend. Sometimes I don't think people can pretend. I really don't. But let's just pretend here, hypothetically, if I were to do something like that, which I never would, but let's just hypothetically, if we were watching a movie, for God's sakes. I mean, I don't even think the world's dumbest damn criminal, if they did something, would lock themselves in with no way out. But, stranger things have happened. But they do. They do. They do. Not only does she lock herself in for Chris not to be there, he locked her in and she allowed him to lock her in. He'd been better off just to keep his mouth shut, honestly. Trust me. If my husband ain't here and something goes down, you only better be giving me a character reference. Don't be speaking for me. If you ain't here, don't try to help nothing. Trust me. I already know you're gonna get it effed up. Don't try to fix nothing. So why is he doing all the speaking? Why is he doing the calling the police? Was this pre-planned? I don't know. We don't know. We can only speculate. But I know one thing he's not telling the truth about from day one. Nobody's been cleared. I even put out more of Craddock's stuff. His friend, even said, everything is still on the table. Nobody's been cleared. Period. Everything is still on the table. And whatever y'all are saying about Seth, just get over it. Seth ain't trying to hide nothing. He ain't staying up in the house, locked up, trying to hide anything. Okay? Just stop it. Stop it. And if it comes, okay, let me just put it this way. Let me put it this way. If Seth did anything or had somebody to do anything or anything like that, then by all means, I'm going to be the first one to come on here and say his ass needs to be locked up forever and ever and ever and ever. Okay? In the meantime, if he had something to do with it, he sure is working his ass off to find out about his son. On the other hand, the others are not. So if they're so innocent, I challenge them to go out day and night and do the same damn thing that Seth is doing. Let's just get on equal ground here, okay? Now, I'm for Sebastian. I'm not for either one, but I'm tired of this bullshit coming in my chat just because. I'm trying to ignore it because I got more important things on my mind. So stop trolling my chat. It's not going to work. I'm Team Sebastian. The way I feel about it, Seth, Chris, Katie. Oh, and Chris and Katie's strong. They were in the military. They're not some poor, pitiful me. They can take up for their damn self. Okay? They should be out there taking up for their son. Stop trolling my chat. Back to the story.
And so that's the, okay, I get it. So it's the only open investigation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's the next hard one we got? Fire away.
Okay.
I'm not arguing.
Okay, so I was just wondering, like, if him, like, Katie, let me ask you this, or anybody can answer. So, like, if y'all were at home alone, like, because Chris works out of town a lot, and this is, I just wonder, like, would Sebastian know what to do if there was a house fire? Like, if it was just you and him, does he know how to handle all that kind of emergency stuff?
We have gone over it with him several times, talked about like what to do in case of an emergency, calling 911, run into a neighbor's house to ask for help, known friendly neighbors, how to get out, if a door is blocked and that type of thing. So yes, he should, assuming that he, is able to think in a sorry, I'm losing my word, like in a panic, like if there's an emergency happening. But yes, we have safety plans that we've gone over as far as like getting out of the house in case of fire and how to get a hold of someone in an emergency.
Okay. So, so if there was an emergency, would he run out of the house like that barefoot? Or would he throw on his slippers, do you think, because they're by the front door?
Honestly, it could go either way. I know his dad said that he hasn't seen him go outside without shoes on since he was 2. But I, however, have had a different experience with Sebastian where he does go outside without his shoes on. There's been several times where he takes the trash out in his socks, and I'm like, dude, you got to put shoes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I would say, honestly, it would just depend, I think, on the situation.
Yeah. So you have a padlock. Is that what you said earlier, that you have a padlock on the, like, I forget what they're called, but where you put the code in, a code lock?
Yeah, not a padlock.
I meant, I didn't mean a padlock. I'm sorry. The code where you put the code in.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So would he turn around if he left and actually put that code in? Do you have to put the code in to lock it back?
He locks the door behind himself every time he goes out it.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to think. Is there anybody I don't know if you have housekeepers or what, like, is there anybody you could think of? And I know, I'm sure you gave it to the police, that might have had the combination that could have come in like while you were asleep, that the dog would not be alerted to or anything like that.
The only people that would have access to my house have all been interviewed.
Okay. Man. So there were people, but
and not
it
only
had
that,
a combination.
If somebody
and they've been interviewed, just dance around the question
by the front door, punched in the code, believe it or not, no, it's not super clear, but you would have seen a shadow or a figure.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Based on, something would have been visible, because one of the lights is still visible from that Ring camera from across the street.
Yeah.
That has been, like I said, every video, I've said this through Facebook, everything in the neighborhood. I couldn't talk to you enough positive about my neighborhood, because anybody had cameras voluntarily gave up hard drives, flash drives, access to clouds for them. They've let people go in and search their houses multiple times without needing a warrant or a subpoena or anything. They've just openly done it. So, that's why it's so difficult right now.
Yeah. Now they come out and I know this is part of the investigation, so you may not can answer this, but it was public because we saw them with our own eyes. So they come out about 11 times, counting the backyard where they took pictures. Okay. So did they come in and check as well the 11 times, or did they do forensics like a luminol or anything like that?
No.
Asking.
No. That I can answer. No, they haven't done that. We actually, Katie and I sat down at our table in our dining room, and that's basically where everything conducts itself. We sat down with them in the dining room, and I asked them flat out, I was like, what about fingerprints? Mm-hmm. Can we not take fingerprints? What can we do? Can we check this? Can we check that? And they said no, and they explained why fingerprinting would not necessarily be where they would get a hit, was ridges and things like that compromise the fingerprint.
Yeah.
And he goes, despite TV and the movies, that stuff you see is not necessarily true. I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I just, they said, think of anything. Well, we were thinking, and asked them, how about this? And how about that? What about this? What about that? And we got shot down.
Yeah. So, is there or is there not a couch in front of the back door?
No, there is a couch in front of a door.
In front of a door. Okay. I was just wondering. So, but can he get out the back Okay, so he can go.
Is there an exit out the back of the house? Yes. That's unobscured from anything? Yes.
Okay, so okay, but what I'm asking is, how did you know that he went specifically out the front door? What made you think that? What made you think that?
We presume that he left out the front door. We never know 100%, obviously, but we presume based off of process of elimination, going over it with law enforcement, going over the house, where things are, how things are, Sebastian's routine, and the fact that that's the door that he always uses or prefers to use. I won't say 100% of the time. He does come in with me through another door. But that's the door Sebastian prominently uses. That's the one that if he were going to sneak out of the house or leave the house for whatever reason, that's the most reasonable door that he would have left out of. Any of the others would have made noise or not been,
or would not have been locked.
Mm-hmm. Because
so that the back door would not lock
from the outside like the front. No, you'd have to had a key.
I'm not going to describe every door in our house to y'all first. That's a safety thing.
Yeah, I understand that. Don't do that.
Yeah, but what I can say is there's only 2 doors in the house that he could have gone out where he could have locked
from the
on his own from the outside. And the one he wouldn't have gone out because of how much noise it makes.
Yeah.
Everybody would have.
I think.
Plus, it would have been seen on camera. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I mean it would have been seen on camera. So by suspicion or reasonable elimination of all these doors,
let me see.
Front door.
Okay. And there was no windows unlocked or anything like that. Y'all can tell or could tell. I'm sure they looked at all that.
Yeah, with the screens intact and things like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing exterior of the building of our house has been altered.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why it was like, oh, not only that, but for him to go out the window, so to speak, he would have landed in the flower bed and, barefooted. Yeah, we'd have heard something because he had landed on it and screamed.
Yeah. All right. Let me get these people. I know they're itching for some hard questions. And I've been, all right. So, let's see. I know that girl has been wanting to ask, like, what he had on. I don't think Katie heard me a while ago, but, like, when y'all were out to eat Sunday, like, what he had on that day, like, when he went out to eat. Let's go ahead.
His tennis shoes, jeans, and a black T-shirt.
Was March 20th this year.
Grogu on the front.
Okay. And and then he changed before he went to bed into the black.
The black sweatpants, white stripes down the side, and a long sleeve black shirt.
Okay. And that, I think,
was originally listed on the missing poster as a sweatshirt, and everybody mistaken it for a hoodie. And even Seth said himself that both were trying to get that corrected because when they said sweatshirt, everybody assumed it meant hoodie, not long sleeve black shirt.
Mm-hmm. And I'll have to say, because it did not have stripes on it, it was black sweatpants. It did not say the white stripes on it, so that was a big one for me. That was a huge.
Another thing, they're not sweatpants. So some of these young cats out there probably don't understand where I'm fixing to go with this, but us older folks, go back and think of the 1980s Adidas pants, where you had the white stripes down the side on like a tearaway style pants.
Yeah.
That is what the pants were. They weren't sweatpants.
I know what you're talking about.
That's why I'm like, older folks will know. These younger kids, I don't know if they'll know or not.
Yeah, I know it's not time to adjust to what everybody was saying.
There's a difference.
Okay, are you ready? Well, let me get some of their questions, and then I'll ask you a really hard. I think it's a hard question.
Okay.
I might put you on the spot, but
nah, you're fine.
Okay. All right, let's ask theirs first because I don't want you to go, oh, I'm over here.
No. I gave you my word, and I told you I'm sticking to my word.
Yeah, can I ask? Then I'll ask you now before I go to theirs.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
You too. Thank you. What in the world is this on your arm on day 8, the interview? It's a scratch or a bite mark? I stumped him there.
Left arm, right arm.
Oh, I don't know.
How about both arms?
It's the one we were in the green shirt. And I think it was the right arm.
Oh, right arm slightly above the elbow. I
think it was right below, if I'm not mistaken.
So I've got 2 spots on one on my hand, and I got one on closer to my elbow. There are 2 spots. We have little Morkies, and we have one that's very playful. We have one that's not so playful. And I like to roughhouse my little Morkies, and I put my hand down, and they chase it around, and I don't stop, and I let them nibble. And I've been dumb enough, and I've gotten scratched by a bigger one.
They got their claws clipped and not grinded, so they're rough right now.
Yeah, but I thought you hadn't been home for almost a month, or all month. I thought it looked like fresh scratch. I'm just saying.
when I'm in a green shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were talking to Fox 17.
Okay, Fox 17. I had already been home. So I got home February 26th. That can be released because that's when I came home.
Yeah, you're saying it was a new scratch then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I was like, no, I came home February 26th. We did the interview, and those are scratches that are fresh.
Okay.
The day I came home, I was actually still wearing my work clothes.
Okay, so y'all, he's saying that is a fresh scratch. So I'll say it now. I have also asked about the picture.
Long
so that is a fresh, and after he got home from his little dogs.
And believe it or not, that is the first time I've heard that question. So thank you. I had not heard that before.
Yeah, so I did ask that. So if you see that picture out again that I asked, that's just from where I asked it, I believe, today, and I asked it yesterday.
And I believe I was wearing it's like a mint colored button up shirt, I think.
You were?
Yep, there you go.
Yep, absolutely. So that's where that come from. I knew I was going to stump you with one question.
Pretty close. I was like, wait, hold.
Yep. You thought they all been asked, didn't you?
Yeah, it's about. I mean, I've told everybody on Facebook, and I said, look, everybody's been nasty and all this, and look, I got no problem. I'll answer your questions. Just fire them away. But I have asked, keep in mind, there's 5 of us and thousands of y'all, so we're trying to get to them. But
yeah. So, so let's see.
Give me a good one.
I'm gonna try to find a great one. Did you ever use a belt on him?
Have I ever used a belt on Sebastian? Yes.
Okay.
Outside of his clothes, on his buttocks.
Okay. Please call DV when Sebastian home. Okay. Have you ever had domestic violence called on you when Sebastian was there?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I actually don't have any domestic violence in my history, period.
Okay. He says he's never had domestic violence, y'all. Okay. Now here's one. Let's see. How about more, Betty? Let's see. Okay. With Sebastian's autism, does he have a violent outburst? If so, what typically triggers the outburst?
I wish I could show y'all in person.
All right. Watch this.
Does have, when he was younger, he probably had some pretty nasty ones. Mm-hmm. As he's gotten older, between his mama, me, and dad, and other family members, trying to get him to look, you need to focus on this. Stop doing. ball your fist up, put them down to your side, like in a very aggressive manner, like you're pushing down, and stomp with one foot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He gets like that when he's throwing his tantrums. And then he brings his hands up in like military knife hand is what they call it. All four fingers and pointing outward.
Yeah.
And he's like, moves his hands up and down, kind of like he's making a point, kind of.
Right.
That's to the extent of his violent outbreak. But other than that, no.
Yeah. All right. John said he wants to understand this. He said, am I understanding this? Hit him with a belt because he didn't have a belt.
No.
No.
Okay.
No. So the question about hitting him on the outside of his clothes on his butt with a belt, that was something that he got in trouble for because he lied to us and he got one lick.
Okay. Let's see. How is it possible, do you think, that Katie, and I'm just asking now, probably, how do you think it's possible that Katie and Sebastian, and Katie, and I can ask you too, you got a voice. Can I ask you why is always speaking for you? I'm just wondering.
Hell, I almost forgot.
It's always speaking for
Fire
you.
away, babe. Go ahead.
If you're not there, Chris, hold on. If you're not there, people want to know this. If you're not there, how can you answer all the questions?
So, if you notice, there's certain questions that you're asking I'm not saying anything about.
I know.
So as soon as you start talking about Sunday,
yeah. Okay. So
I don't say nothing. Saturday, I don't say nothing.
You caught that.
But anything after that, from the 6th, from midnight to 6,
okay,
being on the phone with her prior to, yeah. I can answer those questions.
Okay.
And just so I've told somebody this before. My wife has popped off to somebody on Facebook about it. As nasty as some folks have been, my job as a husband is to protect my wife, my kids at all costs. And I will stand in front of them, beside them, wherever they want to be, and I take all the hard hits. I'm tired of people dragging her through the mud. I'm tired of seeing the stuff that they say about her. Say it to me. I'm okay with it. Say it to me. Leave them alone. Be nice, be respectful, be courteous, and think about a woman whose heart's broken because her son is missing. If everybody would just take a step back for 1 second, go look at your kids and realize you got a kid. Your kid's at your house right now that you can walk up to. They may be in the bed sleeping, but you can walk up to them, give them big old hugs and kisses, tell them good night, and enjoy the moments. Right now, there's 3 parents in this world.
See about it.
Well, more than 3, but right now for this situation, there's 3 parents that cannot do that. So forgive me for standing up, being my wife's rock and foundation, because that's what a marriage is. That's my job.
Okay.
But we do love all of y'all. Doesn't matter. Still love you. Baby, if you want to answer. Go for it.
No,
She's annoyed.
I don't understand why it's a problem that my husband helps talk. I mean, I get that y'all want to hear my voice more, but honestly, half the time it's because I'm crying or
Bullshit.
Honestly, I don't have words to explain what I am anymore.
Actually, I really don't. It's okay. I just wondered. A lot of people was asking that. I'm sorry, I was trying to read some of this. A lot of people was asking that, and just might as well ask it.
No, and we appreciate it. Like you said, thank you.
Let's see. Actually, you know what? I really don't want to hear it more because it is really annoying she's whiny. Not because she's upset about her son, no. She is acting like she's so annoyed because she has to answer the questions. And she even has to be there. And even though he dragged me off of Justin's panel when I was in the middle of a live with him, Josh, and Trev Time, and I was not prepared for this interview at all, mind you. I didn't have any questions prepared. I was on the spot to fire up a live under his demand. But I felt like I had to take this. I mean, I feel like looking back now that maybe he demanded Katie to go on there with him. Oh, I'm glad I did too now, Justin. You know, like I'll say it 100 times over. I was shocked, y'all all seen when I was on your panel, and I felt so bad after. I'm like, oh my God, that was so rude of me, not only to jump down and do that, but I was like, it's Chris, and he wants me to fire up a live on mine, and then I'm like, well, you can come on here, Chris, like inviting him on your panel. That was just really rude. I didn't know what to do. I was like in shock. But anyway, he won't go on Justin's channel. I'll say it again, and I don't mean to. Yes, I do. Anyway, when we were talking about he won't talk to men or whatever, but he did do one with Gray Hughes, but I can see why. Anyway, so enough said on that. Yeah, but anyway, he does owe Justin one. He really owes Justin one. And if he was any kind of a man, and to be honest with you, just because, and Justin, yeah, he promised Justin, and Justin will be respectful. Justin's probably the most respectful person on here, but I kind of feel like, and it's my opinion, it would be the respectful thing Chris could do, because he interrupted Justin's live that night. And, I did too, because I abruptly got down and all that. And I, I really shouldn't have did that, but I did. And things worked out, I guess, the way they were supposed to. But Chris, you really should honestly talk to Justin. Okay, so I didn't sell you on JLR, but really you do owe Justin, and you should. Now you're like, I could see you now. I don't owe anybody nothing, blah, 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 blah. But you say you're brash and you're this and you're respectful. Well, why can't you just talk to Justin and be respectful to him? He's respectful, and he'll be respectful to you. Still waiting. Still waiting. Or you can come back on here and talk to Justin, and I'll just shut up if you feel more comfortable on here. I don't know. I can referee, and Justin could just interview you. Whatever it is, what it is. honey, but you owe him something. Anyway, I know you are, Justin, because you're just that kind of person. You're a kind person. I just wasn't thinking off the top of my head. But no, what I was going to say, though, is Katie's voice was really annoying. And I felt like she was uncomfortable, so it made me wonder, did he also tell her to come on that night too? I just wonder that. I'm sorry. It's just something I wonder, and I wonder if she just didn't want to be on there. That's what I wonder. Oh yeah, he threw me for a loop, all right. But I was just curious about that. She don't sound like she wants to be on there at all. And, I know a lot of people say this, if it was my child, and you don't know unless you're there. But one thing that I know for certain that I would do is I would absolutely, anytime I was any place, whether it be in public, especially on a platform, I would plead for my child. I wouldn't wait until somebody asked me, what would you say to your child? I would plead for my child. That's all. That's all. All right, y'all. Let's see. Oh, what did y'all like to do together as a family when Chris was in town and y'all were all together? Like, what was your thing? Did you ever have a short mini vacation on the weekends? Did you go? What did you like to do?
We do all sorts of stuff. He loves Top Golf, so we like to take him there.
Mm-hmm.
Dave and Buster's because games.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a few really good parks in the area that he still enjoys going and playing.
Some hiking.
We do hiking. We go bowling. We have in the summer a family member with a pool, so he absolutely loves going over there. And we do game nights. He loves playing cards. Uno is currently his favorite game.
Could he swim?
Like a fish.
What was his favorite food?
Well, that depends on which day of the week.
What day of the week?
Yeah.
He changes his favorite food probably every day. Chocolate milk has been a long time runner.
Tofu, believe it or not, tofu. He's not a huge steaker, but steamed tofu.
Not fried sauce, just plain steamed tofu and sushi. Boy loves sushi.
Yep.
He loves it.
Did he like going to ever take him to the Japanese places where they made
shoguns where they cook in front of you?
Yeah.
Oh, himachis, yeah.
Yeah. He likes it, but he doesn't at the same time because it's so loud and clanky.
Yeah.
And they use a lot of the teriyaki style sauce.
Yeah.
When we kind of have to ask, like, hey, can y'all scoot some over? He doesn't like condiments that much. He really doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris, what time did you get home on Monday? Do you remember?
I want to say it was. Well, hold on. Let's see here. 1 something, I think.
Yeah. And then did you have to go back up there and get your camper? Is that what you had to do? I had to go back and get that. Somebody had to drive it back.
No, it's a fifth wheel. It's a fifth wheel.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't tell. Somebody was just
no. So So there's a couple things that, because of this whole situation, I hope families never endure.
Right.
Without going into great details, I almost lost my job.
Mm-hmm. Over this?
Yes, for this.
That did surprise me.
Yeah.
Most companies would be more. So I don't believe that.
And because of that, I was like, well. So I got permission. And I say I got permission. I asked law enforcement, said, hey, I need to go down, go get my will, and I need to bring it home.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, and they said, okay. So we told them what day we were going. And we went down there. We weren't even down there, I don't know, 24 hours maybe. I think we were down there maybe 17 hours, long enough to get down there. I finished packing everything up. And I'll say she didn't go. I was down there long enough to pack everything up. I spent them in my trailer, hooked up the next morning, and came home.
Mm-hmm. So, but will you be going back to work there? I mean, they'll allow you to go back to work there? I mean, if it's...
Things have worked out. I will be returning to work.
Good. Okay. All right. Good. So why the three-way call?
So, well,
because
I'll give
I
you.
was hysterical and screaming and crying and frantic. And so he told me to mute my phone, and he's the one that actually called, because at that point I couldn't even make words anymore.
So not only that, but if folks know the area.
She wasn't crying when Seth got there.
You call 911, you go to a central dispatching unit. You don't actually go to your local PD unit. You go to a hub on a cell phone. When you tell them where you're at, then they direct you to the local PD. We don't live inside city limits, so the local PD they're not responding. It's not their jurisdiction. Mm-hmm. So we have to call the sheriff's office. So I called directly to the sheriff's office because I know what was going to happen. Bypass it, call them, and in 10 minutes of that phone call, they were at the house. And when they were at the house, they were at the house in full force.
No, who said how many came? Do y'all remember? She was not. Was it a lot? Not sir.
Have you've seen the aerial shot of the subdivision, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so from our house, go all the way back down to Stafford to that stop sign where Kellen and Stafford meet. Then line cop cars all down Kellen out to Long Hollow Road.
Yeah.
How many cops came?
Well, is there a reason like y'all didn't go to the vigil? I mean, for the one by the high school. Seriously?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
So security reasons. And here's
bullshit.
This is what I'm fixing to tell you is going to spark a whole bunch of stuff in the comments. And I'm not afraid to answer any of this. The young lady who started to organize this vigil never even contacted us. Not one time has any of these vigils taken place as somebody tried to organize them with us as the parents. I think the only one that's been somewhat organized with a parent is the one that was done in Clarksville with Seth. Other than that, the one that was supposed to be out in front of my house was a security issue. My neighborhood said, we don't want it here because our roads don't have sidewalks. We don't have eaves. Technically, you're not even supposed to park on the street.
Yeah.
We found out about it, and then we found out that they were spreading it all over basically the county, state, and there was like tons and tons of people saying they were going to come. And there's zero parking here. It's not big gathering spot. So we asked for them to move it to the school, which is literally like half a mile from my house, if that.
It's not even that. It's like a quarter mile.
Okay. They asked them to move it to the school, and they did. So the question is, why? Hey, darling. Good to see you. Thank you. And I love you. So the question is, they asked them to move it to the school. So why didn't they go to the school? They didn't want that around their house. They still don't want any of it around their house. They don't want people, in my opinion, talking about him or anything that has to do with it. They have a sign in their yard, but the sign is bent over. They won't even go out there and straighten it up, which is really a disgrace to Sebastian, in my opinion. While the vigil's going on at the school, which they could just walk right over, and nobody's going to be harmed. For God's sakes, the news is there and everybody else is there. And they could go incognito, for heaven's sakes. They could look like bums or put on wigs or anything they wanted to do, go in disguise. Hell, Edgar could go as Girdle, Myrtle, Turtle. Put on a dress and high heels. You know, lipstick. It's crazy. He didn't have a problem for the safety of his life going down to the vigil. Getting this close. Stepping up over Seth. I still wonder what that was about. I still feel like it was a threat, even though Seth will probably never come out and tell it. But what did he do? Him and Katie went to a motorcycle shop instead. Oh, I forgot. That picture was so old and from a long time ago, except for the fact that it had Sebastian's missing picture on their shirts. So how many times has that 15-year-old boy been missing? And have they been in the same motorcycle shop? Just saying. Wow.
Can accommodate all the people.
Not only that, but some of the people, like some of the comments and the stuff that's being said. And
I know.
if you're in our shoes, it could be it could be a security reasons, because if somebody shows up acting crazy, you know, that's not kosher. One, it's not coming in our subdivision. I don't want it in front of my house. I don't need thousands of people in front of my house. You know, I appreciate.
You're still talking, but I can't hear you. I could see you're talking if you moved. All right, we'll listen for him. Let's see. Katie, were you still married to Seth when you and Chris met?
No. So, I know he's insinuating that I cheated, and I did not. Seth and I had been separated for about 2 years and change when I met Christopher.
Yeah.
And we didn't get married until nearly 3 years after my divorce. So, no, I was not cheating, running around.
You know that it's been said that there are rumors, and Chris is not up here now, but it's been said that there is someone in the neighborhood that you've been seeing. Is that any truth to that?
No.
Okay. And there was somebody else in the house that night with you?
Just me, my son.
Can you tell me more about that 3-hour phone call? I mean, is that normal, something normal y'all did every night?
Yeah. So my husband works out of town, as y'all all know. And yes, it is regular that we talk every evening or during all throughout the day. We call each other here and there. We chat off and on. That's how we're involved, and we're our version of spending time with each other, because, on a different situation where, both people come home from work at a normal time, sit down, you have dinner, you spend time with your spouse, and, it's hours of time that you're spending with them. We don't have that physically when we're separated by work. So, we spend it on the phone. We talk while we're having dinner, and, we most of the time the phone's on speaker and Sebastian talks to him and whatnot, but that's the way that we are still spending time and talking about our day. And
yeah, I mean, if it's, every night, I mean, that would kind of get boring to me. I mean, everybody's different. I just wondered if it was something normal, that y'all did, or it was just that one night, or a couple of nights before or anything like that. I didn't know if it was normal. I wouldn't, I mean, it's not something I would do. So, I mean, I'm not saying y'all don't. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, mine goes, just go.
well, and then that's normal for some people. Not everybody wants to, spend that much time with their spouse, but I enjoy being around my spouse and not my husband, and and I enjoy that he's a part of my life and of the family, and for us that is our normal, albeit some other people may not be the same way. Not everybody wants to be around somebody all the time, but sometimes just
she got touchy on that subject.
Being on the phone, you're just kind of sort of spending time together.
But is that not, and I think this is a fair question. I'm not trying to be mean, but is that not, and this has nothing to do with Sebastian being gone, but it kind of does. I'm just weird like this. So, but is that not getting time away from your son that you could be spending with your son?
No.
Being on the phone?
No, because I'm not on the phone during all of that time. I'm not on the phone every minute of the day. I'm on the phone in the evenings after bedtime until I go to sleep, that type of thing. I spend time with my son from the time I get home until the time he goes to bed.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. You didn't know.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. That's just kind of not something that, I don't know, a lot of people just find weird. And
a lot of people don't have long distance marriages either, so I'm sure they could. But if they were in this situation, then maybe they would have a different opinion or point of view. But I don't think it's weird to spend time with your spouse on a regular basis.
Yeah. And what about, and Chris, do
weird
you
time with your spouse on a regular
you're
basis.
off nights, or do you
It's
work? Do
weird
you mind telling
to
work
be on
like
the
shift,
phone
or is it
3
days?
hours,
Or
in my
I mean, do you
opinion.
mind? Is that okay to ask? Or
Yeah, no, that's
That's
fine
the
to
regular
ask. So,
basis.
in my line
Or
of
was it
work,
that
we
night?
really don't have, I would say, a normal schedule. I'm going to give you an example.
Especially if he's in a crane.
Helping a guy out right now till I go back filling in for a guy. His shift starts at noon and doesn't get off until midnight tonight.
Yeah.
That's not your normal shift, so it kind of depends. Some crane operators, depends what's going on the job site determines on like the hours, because if you're doing a concrete pour, you be up there for 18, 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It just for the record, because a whole bunch of people just snapped back at me because I did say that I talked to my husband on the phone when I eat dinner, and I do. And I also said not every single day. Most of the time we talk from bedtime until I go to bed or one of us falls asleep. But I also said that he interacts with Sebastian as well, because he does.
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, my chat is not moving. I'm having to stroll it. That's why I keep doing that. I don't know why. And I don't know how far behind y'all I am. Chat. I don't know how far this is behind, but I'm sorry. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm kind of scared to refresh it because I don't lose nobody. Let me try to refresh it. Y'all don't go anywhere. I'm sorry. I apologize. I love it. See if it reloads. I love it. I love that. I got myself to the stage, and I think, who is Katie up here? Or Chris? I got one of them's up here, but I can't tell. I think it's Katie.
I'll have to
Katie,
remember
can you hear
herself.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm gonna put this back down here for Chris again. Yeah, I had to reload because it wasn't going anywhere. I was going to do that. That's why I couldn't catch none of the questions. Oh, I was so behind. I apologize. Okay. Was Chris in Memphis the entire weekend? Okay, here we go, guys. Was he in Memphis the entire weekend, or did he leave? I think he already answered that one. He said he was there the entire weekend, and then they want to know, did he take a polygraph test and pass? And okay. So you can answer this one, Katie. Why did Sebastian wear pull-ups at your house?
So Sebastian wore pull-ups when he was having his regression, he was having issues with wetting the bed or wetting his pants. He had issues where he would wet himself at school, and then occasionally would wet himself at night. Now I know that Seth went and said that never happened at his house, but I do know that it did.
See, how does she know?
At least a few occasions that I know of.
And
but
she have
that's not the point. The point is that
that's
he
what I was talking
did
about
go
today.
in and out of pull-ups based on when he needed them. So if he was during a regression phase, he would go into the pull-ups, and then once he got back on track and he was not having wetting issues at school and or home, he would go back into regular underwear. And that, unfortunately, is just something that has been happening for, ever. Sebastian was late to potty train and has had issues going back and forth with it his whole life.
Right. So why is there a problem? I feel, I feel it shouldn't be a problem, but somebody's asking about the GoFundMe. Why are you so mad about that, Chris?
So initially, I forgot what day it was.
He didn't want Seth.
Myself, Katie, and Seth were in my house, and I had brought up the question. I said, "Hey, should we start a GoFundMe page to start trying to raise money to add to this however we can?" And the police said, "Hey, no, I don't recommend doing that, because then if you do that, it looks like you're trying to do this for profit." And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So we all three had an agreement. We weren't doing this.
Hold up.
And next thing you know,
I just thought about this. See, that's something else. Justin, maybe you can answer this too. Hold up. Why would the cops tell them that if they got a GoFundMe? Chris said something about he asked the cops about a GoFundMe, and the cops told them they would not do that because it would look like they're doing that for profit. Huh. I never heard of such shit in my life. Yeah, that is just very strange to me. Exactly. They don't lie. Unless Chris asked one of his buddy cops, which in that case, why would you be asking one of your buddy cops? And were you at that time going to be doing it for profit and then pay some kind of debt back? I'm just asking anyway. And then Seth is in the total dark. Here he is living paycheck to paycheck, and you get mad because he did put a GoFundMe up, and you're real pissed about it again. Do y'all hear me? Do you hear me? Anybody know who was the cop? I would be interested, unless that was a lie too, that took Mr. Chris around for a drive that day. Why? Was they on show and tell? I just wonder. Exactly. Y'all pay attention. Some things are important. So are keywords.
Now there's the GoFundMe page up there.
So, okay. And, but, okay. So why don't y'all just start your own GoFundMe page? I mean, it's like, there's no sense in arguing over it, really. I mean,
so all of this just kind of stemmed because you got a family member who wants to go out there and blast some family matters to the public. That's where it all stems from. Like I said, this is not family problems. This isn't about family matters being public. It's about Sebastian.
Right.
And we've got some family members that aren't necessarily kosher about everything right now, and they're upset. Their emotions are, I got it. Everybody's been at one point hot-headed, you know. If somebody tells me they're not, that's a lie. Everybody's been a hot at some point.
I'm sorry. I got to get this out here. Okay, I got to get this out here for the ones. I just got to get this out here. What if, and this is just a scenario, it doesn't make it real, it doesn't make it true, it doesn't make it fact. I'm just popping this off the top of my head. Pop a top, okay? What if, you know how on Web Sleuth. He said, and I have no doubt they're friends. What if, like he says, Bobby will never open his mouth again if he did, you know that part. Okay. But what if Chris is wanting you to think he's really, 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 really good friends with all these people? Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But I'm just trying to think about this. Ellie hasn't come out and made no statements or anything like that, which, they could be holding it close to the vest. But what if, and he's saying, we've been cleared and all this bullshit. Anyway, nobody's been cleared, rest assured. But see, we don't know what tips they've got and what they haven't got. Not to say that they haven't got any or many. But if Chris is sitting there saying he's such good friends with these people, why would people be sending them tips? Why would people be sending them tips? Think about that for a minute. They're not going to trust them to send them tips, if you think about it. Not really. Not really. Now, everybody's own dog and at night and all that stuff or whatever. Even Dog and them is telling you, send your tips to TBI, fine. Send it to FBI. And that's where you need to send them with, Dog and them last and everything. But it just hit me right here with all this being said and everything too. Y'all need to stop listening to Chris's lies. This is about Sebastian. And Sebastian needs to be found. And if you know something, you need to say something. And Alicia, he probably does. To be honest with you, was it even true that he rode around with show and tell that day? Why wasn't Seth allowed to do that? I'd like to know who it was. Who was at the poker game? I would like to know. Was a certain person there, in my opinion. I hate to keep bringing that up. Y'all better start listening and reading between these lines. I think the who's are starting to become real important, in my opinion. Which friend? Which friend? Yeah, Mohawk. Absolutely, they did the same thing with Dahmer. Absolutely. And if your friend is such a friend, they would at least come out and say, he passes lie detector, or something kind about you would think. But everything's still on the table. I guess they think by saying there's no suspects, there's no foul play, whatever. But then in the next breath saying everything is still on the table. Everything's still a possibility. Especially your friend. Read between them lines. Yeah. Well,
I mean, we got a missing kid, and that's a problem.
Well, in my opinion, I mean, you have to put everything aside. I mean, your feelings, her feelings, and I know it's not easy. You've got, you honestly have to do this. You're going to have to endure a lot. It's not going to be pretty, and it's probably going to be worse. I just sat here with another case, 2.5 years, going on 3 years in June, and the things I've seen out of that has not been pretty, and no results have been, unfortunately, found. And but I'm hoping that it will be different with Sebastian. I know that the people there care. There's no doubt in my mind. And one reason that there's no doubt is, again, that's where I was born and raised, and I have family there, and I know. And there's good people there. There are good people there. And, I see the difference. Really, they are. I really do. And, sometimes this internet is harsh. But one thing that I see different with the police there is they do come out and they say, we do want your help. We do want, and they're asking and they're begging and they're doing everything they can to find Sebastian. They're trying to put him first. It's not hard when you have others that have come up missing during this search for Sebastian. Because everybody deserves a fair shot, Raleigh. Everybody deserves a fair shot to get found. And I know that's breaking everybody's heart, your hearts, everybody's hearts, that this had to be scaled back a little bit. But you can't give up. We can't give up. You never know, and sometimes you're going to go to bed crying. You're going to go to bed, no matter what people think of you, it does not matter. You're going to hear things. You're going to see things. But again, the most important thing is Sebastian, because no matter what, no matter if he's out there, well, good, fine, or not, he deserves to be found like anybody else. He is somebody, and he's your somebody, and he's Seth somebody. And like Seth said, damn it, bring him back. Katie, I know you've been asked this 100 times, more probably. Today, after rethinking everything, to this day, if he hear you right now, what would you say to him? And if somebody had him, what would you say to them?
I would say to Sebastian that we love you, baby. But we're going to find you. We're going to bring you home. And I would say to somebody that has my son that they better let him go and they better come out, because we're going to come and we're going to find him. We're not going to stop him. We're going to bring an army with us. An army of support, of people that are helping to look. And son, I love you.
Katie, if you could anything back about that day, about Sunday, and redo anything about Sunday, What would it be?
I'd have slept outside that boy's door.
What?
I say it like that, and I promise I'm not laughing. I just I would have, I don't know. I would have made sure to check him 100 times. You know, get older and you think that they're okay and that they're good, and you don't check as much throughout the night. Like when you get up, you know, when he was little, if I woke up, I'd check on him. I was always looking at him, and as he got older and he didn't need that as much anymore, I took that for granted.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we take for granted, and we don't realize things can change in the blink of an eye, but they can.
I'd give anything to be able to hug my baby again.
We don't realize how time, we just can't turn back time. That's one thing we cannot undo. Let me look on here. Okay, so they want to know on the super chats, they want to know, explain to me why you keep making comments about what people think of you. Chris, why not focus on searching for Sebastian?
Well, I do focus on looking for Sebastian. But at the same time, when I said I'd answer questions and people want to put questions up there, and then you want to put your comments, 2 cents in with a question, you're going to get an answer.
But he wants the hard questions, remember? Somebody asked me to remember these, and I always forget them, not used to them. Well, I'll just go down these real fast. I apologize.
No, you're fine.
So you spoke about discipline. What kind of discipline did he want? As they said, you spoke about discipline. What kind of discipline did he want to get away from the house because of that? Did he want to get away? Oh, okay, so they want to know, did he want to get away from the house because of the discipline?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am. So Sebastian is afraid. He runs up to me, gives me a big old hug, says I love you, says I miss you. When I'm out of town, his mom, he'll look at his mom and say, hey, when's Mr. Chris coming home? Can we call him? Things like that.
So sad. Yeah.
I mean, discipline is discipline. There's a different discipline a child and beyond discipline a child.
Right.
You know, I can tell you from personal experience, I know the difference between, and I vowed I would never in my life do that to a child.
They want to know, okay, so he's already answered that one. He's looked for, they've put out flyers, and he's told ago that the signs that you see in the yard, he said that that come from his family.
Yes.
Yeah. And
if people are interested in purchasing them or to get some ordered and sent to them, find me on Facebook, send me your just hit me up, and I will send you the point of contact.
Very past tense.
And you guys can reach out to him and work it out.
But actually, yeah, I would like to get that information, and I will get with you to get that for the signs or whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just going. Okay, y'all, be nice.
Everybody's entitled to their opinions and feelings. Don't get me wrong.
Now I'm flipping down it, and I'm like, well, hold on, because I can't see them because I didn't catch them right when they first come up. Okay. Okay. Okay, y'all, you know, I have to read some of these because once they're gone, I am not going to see them for a while.
Oh, okay.
In here. That's why I apologize. Is it hurtful to be? No, because it's hurtful to be a safe step. Oh, that's when we first come on here, and I was asking you that. Okay, did he take any medicine before bed, and did he sleepwalk?
Didn't
Yeah,
I don't think you have anything. Yeah, as long as I've been in Sebastian's life, I've never heard of him sleepwalk. Now, getting up in the middle of the night and sneaking snacks and stuff, that's one thing. But
why would he
sleepwalking,
To clarify, he's not sneaking food because we starve him, because that's absolutely not the case. He just likes to munch on a bunch of junk food in the middle of the night because he doesn't get a bunch of sugar. He's, one dessert and he wants to eat the whole box. So he gets up in the middle of the night and sneaks snacks.
Sneaks candy in his room and hides the wrappers under the bed. I mean, same stuff basic kids do. It's just, one, I'm not going to have bugs throughout the house. We told him, you eat in the kitchen, you eat in the dining room.
And
when you're done with it, you put it in the trash. That's the only thing we've asked him.
Okay, so they're back to Rachel. So they're saying that what happened to her head is what they want to know, and
what happened to her head?
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about.
If they could clarify a little bit more, I don't know.
They're saying you almost killed her. I don't know.
Huh?
Like I said, I don't know anything about Rachel.
Okay.
It's posted on the board.
Yeah, I can't see the comments for some reason. It's not showing me the
it
comments.
Says you killed Rachel. There's blood everywhere. Or, sir, you thought she was dead.
Blood everywhere. No. Okay. That's news to me, but no.
It could be they paid to ask that question, which I'm just now getting to, and they've asked 2 or 3 times. That's why. I don't know. It could be a troll. I don't know. Listen, I have no idea. I don't mean to make y'all feel.
No. I'm not. I'm sitting there. I'm like, inches like her head, blood everywhere. Okay. Well,
yeah. I mean, that's a new one on me. So I don't really know what's going on there. Again,
my mother actually still talks to Rachel. I mean, that right there ought to tell you the kind of relationship that my family had with her. We still talk to her.
Yeah.
She's got her 2 kids. So where all that stuff's coming from is very interesting. But no.
Well, there y'all have it, folks. Sometimes families do still talk to exes and their moms and dads and all that does. So I don't know. Did LE check vehicles and your trailer that you took to Memphis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So they're saying yes.
You notice Katie didn't jump up and say anything.
Just saying. Oh, thank you for coming, a YouTube member. Beautiful sunflower. Yeah. The medicine that Sebastian, is that life-threatening if he don't take that medicine?
No.
Okay. It's not life-threatening, but it's not good that he don't have it,
Right.
Yeah. And like anything else, it's not good because if you take medicine for so long and you just come off of medicine just quick, fast, and in a hurry, it can cause seizures,
Yes.
Yeah, it was supposed to be weaned off if and when he came off of it. It was not supposed to be a sudden stop.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is your theory, each one of you separately, on what happened to Sebastian? I know you've probably had 2 or 3, but what do you think now? We're 3 weeks later. What is your thoughts now? What do you think?
I wish I had a freaking clue on where my son was, to be honest with you. None of it makes sense.
But not so much where he was, but if you just play it back in your head, if you think, what in the world happened? I mean, what could have happened? It's things like maybe that you've thought over and over as a mother, what could have happened? Something, the bell from a week ago, a month ago, something that's clicked to you. I mean, anything.
All I can say is everything that I've come up with, I've asked law enforcement to look into, and so far nothing has led to anything substantial in finding him. I mean, we've gone over wild probabilities, you know,
Hey,
all
we got a
sorts of
lifelike bird
stuff.
inbound.
And
Yeah, I was looking at that right now. They never said nothing about it on the radio.
10-4.
I haven't been able to figure out anything that explains where my son is.
Yeah. And they want to know, do you know this Katie Fisher or Carrie Fisher personally, the one that redirected the search? Was it
No,
that, you know who I'm talking about? She was a convicted felon.
Yes,
I heard about that, but no, I've never met her before.
How do you feel
know her at all?
How do you feel about that?
We talked to the law enforcement about it to ask because we didn't know anything about it until we started getting told that there was, you know, an issue and somebody felon was potentially interrupting the searches and whatnot. And we went to them and was like, what the heck? Like, what is this? You know, what are y'all doing with it? You know, is this true? And I don't know all of the results on if law enforcement like directly addressed her or anything like that. I just know that that she led a search, I believe, down in Goodlettsville.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, at least it was a search that happened.
So you don't think she hurt anything, or like as far as searches or anything, do you? Do you think it was just something that blew up on the internet? I mean, I know they got her. She's not allowed to search anymore, but I mean, do you think it's something that just blew out of proportion?
I mean, it's nothing more than an opinion, but I think probably because law enforcement said that that there was no like hindrance that they know of that from that, but it's beyond the whole internet blow up.
Yeah. Okay, that was just the question that was on here too, and okay, so they want to know. Somebody always L8 wants to know why Sebastian was wearing pull-ups at your home. We cover that and not. Oh no, they want to know if he was afraid of Chris. Is that why he was wearing the pull-ups?
No, he wasn't wearing pull-ups because he was afraid of Chris. Sebastian had a recent autism diagnosis, but Sebastian has a chromosome deletion that he was diagnosed with when he was a baby.
Yeah. So that's what they were saying. Always Ellie. Okay, so that's about Carrie. A couple people asked me that one. Okay. What are some of the signs or symptoms for Sebastian if he misses his medicine?
He's got combined type ADHD, so he does get, you know, hyper. His behaviors become a little more like he'll flip-flop between his moods more, you know, like being overly excited or, you know, he has periods where he's really calm, where he just hyper focuses on, you know, whatever it is that he's playing or fidgeting with.
Yeah.
He can become a little more temperamental, like more easily aggravated. Not that he becomes violent, but he just gets aggravated easier.
Right.
He does get an increased appetite. He's off of his meds. You know, an unfortunate side effect of those is that they do suppress the appetite a little bit. So he'll eat more. But and he will be more.
Thank you so much.
I'm trying to think of the right word.
Welcome to Smell.
Like when he'll start telling you something, he'll be on a bunch of different subjects, but all like in the same sentence.
Right.
So his thoughts become less coordinated. Yeah, he becomes a lot less coordinated in his thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, So, okay, so when he took, okay, so Katie, the trash cans at the end of the driveway Sunday night, was there any strange cars around then? Did the dogs, and they want to know, did the dog pick up that scent at the end of the driveway?
Can I?
Okay.
Go ahead.
No. So I'd like to clarify this whole dogs thing for once and for all.
Mhm.
So the dogs, everybody said, "Oh, the dogs didn't get a scent. Dogs didn't get it." The dogs got it.
Hey, thank you
What
for
the
being
dogs got and where it led to a lot of misinformation as far as to the road, to the construction, to this, to that, to this. For the record, there were so many dogs used. I don't know if we actually have a true count. On the day one, there was 5 dogs automatically. We know for a fact. They brought dogs in from out of state, different counties, all over the place. But of all the dogs, there was a couple that took them through a construction zone and took them over to a retention pond. Now, the retention pond is no higher than knee deep.
Right.
They walked it and they drained it. But from there, the scent disappears. There's poof.
Right. Right. Why did you lawyer up? They said.
Well, I mean, who's my lawyer? I'd love to meet him. I mean, I'm not trying to be smart ass, folks.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just
I mean, if somebody said we got a lawyer, I'd like to meet him because, sure.
Yeah, I have no clue. I'm just reading the questions. So let's see. So somebody said, explain to me why you keep making comments about what people think of you, Chris. Why not focus on searching for Sebastian? I'm just reading the questions. I can't see all of them until I pop them up, unless I can see the very top. We'll see. Right. Okay, let's see with this. 3 Tennessee families, each kid missing a child. 2 of the 3, at least one present on social media. At least one parent on social media who is more concerned with how they being portrayed or treated. So what about getting the word out about their child? So I guess what they're saying is, are you like, why are you worried about who gets the word out about your child? I guess that's what they're asking. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, but I could be wrong. Like, why does it matter who gets the word out about your child as long as it gets out? It absolutely. Oh, did he drop down again? Oops. No, he's still there. You still there, Chris?
Hello, can you hear me now? I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, like
the whole thing about I heard your question. My answer is simple. We want correct information out there. We don't want false information, which unfortunately somebody has put out false information. And the downside is, I mean, one anchor in particular, I don't need to put the name out there.
It's okay.
But the one news anchor, instead of just reporting, kept insinuating stuff, which in itself is a problem. And it drew the focus away from Sebastian and started focusing more on, who did it? Well, these people are, and that was a problem. So we don't want false information. None of the parents, none of the family members want false information. We just want the accurate information out there, and
another
people to
creator
focus
was
on
calling
finding
him. He
instead
left
of
my interview and
bashing
went straight to them to have an interview.
Parents or bashing something that they don't like.
I didn't know that till later.
If people would put that focus into finding Sebastian, instead of bashing us, that would be amazing. We love you all regardless.
I understand that, but here, listen, I know, and y'all, let me get back to the comment. I'll get back to this in a minute. I think, Lord have mercy. Oh, now, Marie, it was late at night. It was a nighttime interview. Oh, there's my comments. Sorry, y'all. I can see my comments. I'll get back to all that. Thank you for all that. I'll get back to that in a minute. It's just too many, and I don't know how much further along it goes down. But I just don't see what's the difference in that. And maybe, and we do want the correct. I said this from the day that I opened this up. I want to make sure the correct information, and I'll try my very best to do that no matter what. And I could be wrong on some things. I really could. It's hard to get facts out of everything. I think they dropped the ball. And I'll correct if I'm wrong. But listen, and on this channel, I say things that others won't say, and that's okay. But because I do care and I'm passionate about kids. I don't care. I'm not in it for the money, the clicks, likes, views, whatever. I don't care. That's not what I'm here for. But Chris, it's what you said. So I'm asking you, why not go on these big channels or bigger channels, or little channels? It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, what does it matter? Is it that important to you that a person you feel, and your feelings are your feelings, but I'm just saying that you feel is getting this misinformation or this information about you or digging the dirt on you. Now, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. What I'm trying to say is, or you go on this channel per se. He dropped off again. Hold on. Pat back up. Y'all must have, are you having a Wi-Fi issues or a storm, or is that where he had a creator issue trying to get
I think it's where he's at.
Yeah. He said he wasn't invited to Nancy Grace, but I'm sure she would love to have them.
We've actually reached out to Nancy Grace and hadn't heard back. We didn't know about the Nancy Grace interview.
Yeah, so I think she would love to have it. Here he goes. Okay.
I think it would be great because she's got such a vast audience and a way of getting it out there big time.
Absolutely. But Chris, I was just going to say, what's the difference in that and being on any channel that maybe is just trying to make a name for themselves? Is that not like? Is that not who's not really does stuff like this? I mean, I'm just asking. I mean, is that not important to y'all?
Finding Sebastian is every bit of important as anything else. But at the same time, do I want to sit down with somebody who dragged me through the mud, continues to drag us through the mud, and keeps putting false information out there, which causes a lot of problems, not just for us, but for the law enforcement folks that are also doing their job trying to find Sebastian. It's an issue.
Well, can I just ask you, what about Nick Barris? I mean,
that's who we're referring to.
Okay. I don't know anything about that, so I'm just going to say okay.
Right, and unfortunately, it's nothing against everybody out there. There's stuff that people don't know, and they're not going to know. They won't know because they weren't privy to the conversations.
Yeah.
Not only that, but it just sucks. And there's difference in journalism and trying to get your Emmy nomination. There's a difference.
Yeah. He's trying to dictate everything and everybody. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm not, and like I said, I'm not trying to be mean, but
no. Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. So, yeah. Look, he tried to dictate everything and everybody. Smiley didn't know nothing. The whole time he was talking about Nick. I'm like, okay. He didn't like JLR. He tried to control everybody's money. I mean, all the things, if you think about it. But one thing I'm certain of, he probably woke up the next morning, and when this blew up, because I didn't even know, honey, I was like, so one thing's for certain, I bet he's sorry as hell. He sat on here 3.5 hours for me because he thought he got me by me being off guard and not having no questions prepared, not expecting to do this interview or nothing. But this sucker blew up on the internet. So the joke was on him. I'm just saying. I bet he's sorry. I bet he don't ever want to see the likes of Smiley again. He did. He went straight over to Terry Lynn. But that's before he knew this was going to blow up. He went straight over to Terry Lynn. But nobody knew he talked to Terry Lynn for a month or so later. Yeah, it blew up. It blew up. And then Katie barred the door. Lord, honey, if she knew he was talking to Terry Lynn that night, like he was talking to Terry Lynn that night, she was in a bed asleep, from what I understand. Poor girl. I have to feel sorry for her. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. I had to feel sorry for that girl. She had a heck of a night. Hell, I'd be drinking too. You done went all through all this shit. Your kid's missing. And then your husband's acting a jerk ass. And then he goes behind your back and talking about trying to meet another creator online, offline. I mean, come on now. No, there's no way he would be in a crane while talking 3 hours on an interview. Either that or they were listening for to the scanner. Terry Lynn was a members only, and he sure said foul things about Sebastian. I was hoping that I could get my hands on that interview because I really want to play that interview. I don't know who's got it. I don't know if she's got it. I don't know if I can get it. Terry Lynn's kind of disappeared in the last few days. I don't know if anything's wrong. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I would really like to play that interview. If anybody does have it, please send it to me. That needs to be heard just as well as everybody else's. And I'm going to play everybody else's. And if y'all want, fair's fair. I can play any of Seth's too. But that's just what I want to do. Why not? Okay. So that's what So that's what I heard. Somebody was praying for her or something, and I didn't know what was going on. So yeah, prayers to her. Well, she's been doing a lot of searching and walking around, and I'm surprised she hadn't done more than pinched a nerve. For God's sakes, that's a lot. Oh my God, yeah, slip disc are not good. Well, if somebody could get me that interview, maybe I could, not interview, her email, maybe I could email her and she would allow me to play it. I don't know. We'll see. I just feel like we need to go back on everything. So there's that. All right, we got just a little bit more here, just a little bit more. Thank y'all for being patient.
Makes me. If I can go to everybody else and I can go get all these people and we can get Nancy Grace and we can get anybody else out there to spread the word, I'm not going to worry about one anchor. I'm not.
Right. Well, I say everybody, needs to do it. I mean, everybody needs to do what they can, no matter if they're this big, or this big, or gigantic, but it is what it is. It needs to be found, and that's all there is to it. But Chris, I'm going to ask you again, something I asked Katie a while ago. If you could say anything in this world that you rethunk this 3 weeks, what would you say to Sebastian today, tonight, right now, again? I mean, it don't have to be the same thing. It could be, now what are you doing tonight?
I miss him. I want him home. Looking forward to him back home. I'm looking to see, happy to get things back to normal. It's chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a man of words, but Sebastian,
what I thought.
Deep down, he knows.
What would you do if you could change anything about that Sunday? And I know you were not home, but what would you do if you could change anything about that Sunday?
Let's say that one more time. I'm sorry, I misunderstood that.
If you could turn back time and you could change anything about that Sunday, what would it be? I know you were not home. You were in Memphis. But if you could do anything over about that Sunday, what would you do?
If I could go back and change anything, I wished I was able to work in town. Maybe things would have been different because we both would have been home. I don't know. I mean, there's so many shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and I wish I could have, and wish I would have, and I don't have the answers because I don't know. I mean, I know I got my stepson's missing. My house is not whole. There's a big emptiness right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody said it took you 7 hours to get home. I don't know.
It's a 7+ hour round trip from my house to Memphis.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. So they're saying that some people were saying that you didn't leave right away and you were waiting, and we already went through all that. So
well, and some of those folks' comment is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I could not leave. I can't just. It's not a normal job. You can't just tell your boss I'm out of here and walk out the door, get in your car and leave. I mean, there's a lot of safety involved.
Yeah.
Sebastian's dad, same thing. He's not going to be able to just be like, "Hey, I'm out of here," and walk out the door. I left as soon as I could, when I could.
What let's see. Somebody wants to know why you didn't want him around your daughter.
That is a personal family matter.
Okay.
That unfortunately, that's not one I'm going to open up.
Okay.
It's not
Well, okay, you don't have to. Let me ask you this in another a way. Let me ask you this in my way, not their way. I heard that it's possible. Well, I heard that is he supposed to be a witness in some kind of case that you have with your wife? Is that okay?
No, ma'am. So I've heard that somebody said he was supposed to be a witness in my custody case with my daughter.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't know where that came from, but I mean, I heard it. I was laughing internally. I was like, really? Oh.
Yeah. Well, I was just kind of wondering how that would work, but yeah, I just thought I would clear that up. But okay, so I won't keep y'all on here all night, but I want to ask you, like, how did there's just a couple more. How come LA, do you think, hasn't publicly cleared you, like in the public cleared you, come out and said, hey, their parents are clear? Because I know what you've said, Chris.
Right, but they can't.
Why?
Because the investigation is still ongoing. Sebastian is still missing, which is why they came out and clarified that no, we are not suspects, and yes, we are.
If you're not guilty, the first thing that they would do, just like with Elizabeth Smart, is come out and say they're not guilty. Same thing with Brandy. I mean, Brandy Neal Monkey, Michael Monkey Vaughn's mom. That's what they're going to do. I mean, they're not going to, and others in the news. That's just who I think you're familiar with. But that's what they're going to do. They're not going to like just allow you to be sitting there hanging in the public's eye and take all this criticism and stuff.
Because there's so many agencies involved in this investigation.
I agree.
And I mean, across the board. And you think of an alphabet, it's probably involved, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I have begged and begged and begged, and so has my wife. Seth, when he was at the house before, same thing. We all asked, why can't you come out and just say it? Y'all told us to our faces.
Mm-hmm.
No, and the response we get, because an ongoing investigation and protocols not allow us to do that. And that is the answer we're given.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you're telling a lie. I'm just wondering why, because I would be demanding. I really would be demanding. I'm just trying to think, I would do everything in my power to, and I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying, again, one of my intros has it on there. I'm not saying, but you are suspicious, or this is suspicious, however I say it. And I mean that. I mean, things don't add up. Stuff don't add up. I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful either. I'm really not.
I mean, so here's something that's very unique. And I mean, we talk about it whenever they come and they talk to us or they call us on the phone. This is a case that literally has got all of these agencies stumped. Okay, and I'm saying this very openly, as far as, playing devil's advocate. Let's say one of us was suspected of foul play. Let's say something, right?
Right.
There's no way that we would outdupe all these agencies. There's no way. However, this 15-year-old boy has managed to outdupe everybody. Call him Houdini. He always wanted to be a ninja, and we kept good around. Well, he has officially done it, because poof, nothing. And it's, the cops have told us this is a case that will go down as a researched study case where they're asking the questions and looking for answers, and literally nothing. Everything they try to come up with, blank.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything is just, it's really strange. It's really strange. I don't know.
I mean, I wish there was something, anything.
I do too. If I could get it, out there somehow. I mean, from what I see, I don't know for a fact. There's almost 1,700 people in here. That's big for me because I don't never have that. Numbers don't matter to me. But somebody pointed out, stop saying that, Smiley, because it matters when these kids are at risk. Yeah, I mean that it is. It's important when I'm talking about a child missing, and this definitely means a lot. So many people are in here. They're in here because of you guys. Thank you. You guys need to be out here, in my opinion, speaking on him, not fighting with the Facebook groups. I see you in there. It makes me want to go in there because sometimes you push the wrong buttons with me.
Well, and don't get me wrong, and I, like I said, and I've opened that communication with you, and I told you, you want to talk, you call me, send me a message, something.
Sometimes I want to go in there and box.
As been very respectful to you. I haven't,
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I may not always say the right things. I may not. But it's that last time I looked in the mirror, I'm a human. I'm entitled to my emotions. I'm entitled to my opinions. And I respect those.
Oh, you're
and I
welcome.
respect everybody else's as much.
Thank you. So
There's one thing that compassion is a virtue that is in very short demand in today's society. Because if you sit back and you look at all these families, now we got another one, Riley, 6'7" guy appeared in the flat, gone. Now we got another family that's hurting.
Yeah.
If you, as a person, ever set in the shoes that me, Katie, and Seth sit in to this day, or the Riley family for that much, I promise you, the outlook that you're going to see from our view, you'll understand it. You'll be so riddled with emotions.
Yeah, I want to play.
And you really don't care because all you want is the same end result. You just want your loved one.
Right. Right. I know it don't get any easier each day that passes. It don't. They want to know if it's possible, since y'all were on the phone, if he could have tried to walk to Chris's work. Thought maybe he was that close, the building site. The construction site that was by your house. Maybe he thought that was Chris's job.
Oh, Lord. No. Sebastian, no. Sebastian knows when my job sites, he knows what to look for. And what I do has no equipment of that manufacturer on that site, period.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kate. I'm sorry.
The construction site near our house isn't like a skyscraper. It's just houses and homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're building a small subdivision.
Yeah.
Well, we've searched it several times.
I mean, I'm currently sitting, today's my last night covering this crane, but I'm sitting at Vanderbilt University at the hospital, 300 feet in the air with a skyline view. And I get to sit here and do what I do, but I also sit here and I watch life flight helicopters come in and land every so often at Vanderbilt and at the Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And I have nothing but to sit here and wonder, could one of those be Sebastian?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I understand. Well, my prayers are certainly with every one of y'all, and Seth and Katie and you and the grandmother and everybody and Sebastian. I want everybody to the whole Hendersonville, the community, people that didn't know him love him, and I'll want to see this come to an end in a good way. I do. In a good way. Just to think positive, happy thoughts. Just think happy thoughts.
Very, very true.
And if anybody has any information, you know to call that number 615-442-1865 or the 1-800-TDI-FIND. See, I got I moved it, but please print one of these out. Print it out. Pass it out everywhere. You never know. Again, like I asked you today, put it in your mail. Don't hurt if you mail a letter to somebody. It's your old friend. Mail it. Put it in there. Send it all over the world.
Well, I mean, it's funny you say that because I've got confirmation that there's folks in Australia, Spain, England, Austria, UK that they've got wind of this. They've got some posters posted. So it was actually kind of cool. I never thought that would happen, but that's pretty cool.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. Yeah. But Funny Face Brenda says, loved it. I brought you home. Yeah. And they were talking about he wanted friends. He's got more friends than he will ever know what to do with. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Well, I said it before, when he does come home, anybody complained to how packed the block was with cop cars. Well, he's now become like the son of Summer County, so it's going to be a long line.
Yeah. I sure hope it's soon. Was there anything that you would like to say that either one of you that you think that we can do to help? I mean, that we can really do to help those near, those far? I don't know.
I want to spread his face to the ends of the earth and back, because he's out there somewhere and someone does know something and someone needs to come forward. Whoever may have him, assuming that someone might have him, needs to let him come home. And we need everybody everywhere to see his face and to know his face. All the missing children. But I personally think that the more people that know his face, the more likely it is that if he is out somewhere, that more likely someone will actually recognize him and be able to call him and bring him home.
And we can do that, and we have these platforms. Will you, consider doing something for me, though? Will you please consider talking to some of the bigger creators? And it don't have to be like the news or whatever, but like, would you consider talking to some, especially, I know JLR again, Chris, I hope I got you calmed down on that a little bit.
I'm calm. I mean, Emotions can sometimes get the best of a person.
I know. And because I personally want the word out. And what Katie just said about that was perfect, what she just said. But if you will allow yourself and listen, if you ever have a question and you want to private ask me, look, is this person, whatever. I've had my fair share with some of these people. Okay. Let me tell you, I'm not going to say, but it's your ultimate decision. I would say, I don't know. I'd watch that one, because what I don't want these creators who's going to end up like Summer Wells case and then be fighting each other. I don't want that. Okay. This is about him. Okay. This is about him. But what I want you to consider is, I want you to consider, Chris and Katie, to please, right now, early on, go ahead and let's get his name and face out there. And please consider talking. I mean, you got Jay for Justice. And she's sweet. I mean, just let bigger channels, please talk to them. You know, the ones that's really for the kids, please. I'm just looked up because I'm nobody, and you did make a promise to me. Trev time is, I know you spoke to him already on another channel. I don't know how you feel about that, but he really is for the kids.
Well, here's what I'll say about Trev, I'm gonna say this open and publicly.
It's okay.
So Trev sent me a message and he apologized.
Mm-hmm.
He apologized to me and my wife because he made a mistake. He got wrapped up in, I'm going to call it the sauce. He got wrapped up in that with jumping on the bandwagon of assuming and accusing us. Now, he went back and he has changed that. He has apologized.
Mm-hmm.
That right there alone, I'll do your show.
Mm-hmm.
Because you did it. You did what you were supposed to do as a man or a woman, excuse me. That's a new age thing nowadays. Sorry. Righteousness, the right thing, that will get you a lot farther than the rest of it. I mean, it's one thing. And that's what I'm saying. JLR, this dude, he's going to have to make a public apology. He's going to have to make it public for me to consider him. And the reason why I say that is because how much crap he put out there and to the level he has gone to certain topics. There's one topic. Okay.
That's what blew it right there. JLR said, hell no.
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't cross that line.
I
don't care who you are.
I understand. I'm just saying.
I mean,
it don't even have to be.
Well, one of the reasons it took us a little bit longer to do some of these interviews. Okay. And this is before we started doing interviews and talking with media, we were kind of advised, hold off, don't do that. Well, eventually got to the point we needed just talking to the media.
Mm-hmm.
The parents, myself, Katie, and Seth, all decided, we made a pact in the beginning. Hey, if we're going to do this, we're going to keep each other in the loop. We're going to talk to each other and ask, not just going to go out here and do our own thing. Okay. Yeah. That has always been our pact.
Hey, Annabella, he said, hey,
we would call Seth and say, hey, initially he didn't want to do any type of interviews, and we understood that.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, I said, hey, man, do you want to phone in with us? Do you want to come to the house and we'll do this as a group? What do you want to do? We've tried and we want to do this as a group. Unfortunately, somehow somewhere along the way, we've all kind of gotten off track, and he's kind of gone out and done his thing. We've kind of done our thing. Mrs. Rogers done her thing. I think his sister may have done something. I mean, but everybody's getting the word out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just don't want anybody's ego and nobody to get in the way. I mean, I'm just saying, because Katie did say it perfect just a minute ago. And if you can say it for the all that for the flyers and stuff, I just want it to be known that, because I always say, and no matter if it's a missing child, I always say it. Sometimes I do little things on just what's in my heart and stuff. Sometimes it could be on freaking, I don't know, it have nothing to do with a person. Sometimes I just get into my feelings sometimes and come on here. And it ends up, somebody says, you don't know what you did you? And it's just a lesson or something. I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head right now. But I always say, no matter how little we are, we might take and say something, and then somebody sees it, and then they share it, and it goes on and on, and somebody really might be helped by it. Well, it's the same thing with Sebastian. Somebody might share it, come in 2 weeks from now, or hopefully not that long, but, and see him somewhere or remember something, and something may click, or it could be tomorrow, tonight, an hour from now, and it really may help. But sometimes you need other creators, and it just needs to all just flow like that. I don't know, no matter how big or how small. And it don't matter to me. I want to kind of promote everybody. If they have a channel and they're good and they have intentions, I don't care who it is. I don't care what they do. And I just hope that y'all, as the parents of him, don't let your ego get in the way. Just let it roll off, and do what you got to do. Just bring him home. Bring him home. I just hope that makes sense. I hope it's okay advice, and I hope I overstep in saying that. Yeah. And yeah, you're right. Trev is a good guy. I'm glad he did whatever he had to do.
Well, he didn't have to do it. He manned up and apologized, because he made a mistake, and he said, "Look, I know I did. I'm apologizing. Appreciate that, man. That means a lot."
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, all your viewers out there, I want to say, thank everybody, regardless of what your personal opinion is of me, my wife, the situation, the bio father, anybody, it doesn't matter.
Late in the morning, Mike.
I personally say thank you for being able to continue to spread the word, be a part of this, and in any form, shape, fashion. And just know that you got 3 parents missing a son that needs to be home, and compassion.
Exactly.
Is, like I said, in short demand, and could be overfloweth with people out there if we could just find a way to become all one united group, and we can just do this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's something that's hard though. Something pops off, or you hear this, and you gotta just do it. And again, like I told you when I first talked to you through there, I was just like, always, we got to set our feelings aside. Number one for me is, you have to understand, I have to think of all sides, and I have to do until they say. And I think outside the box. I'm not like any of these other people. I'm not with them. I don't really, there's a couple I might talk to here and there, but I don't work with nobody. Get that straight, everybody, while you're on my channel now. Even these creators, what do you do? Like, I don't work with nobody. If I want to know something, I'm pretty much going to go to you. If I'm going to call you out, I'll get on here and Friday Live and I'll call you out. I'm not like these people, but don't put me with everybody else.
Well, I mean,
so I have my feelings too, and I think what I want, and I say what I want, and sometimes it's not good.
Well, there's like I said, there's information that we still, even as of today, we had a meeting with law enforcement, and we've asked them verbatim, like, everything we've been saying, is there anything you want us to change? Is there anything new that we can put out? And honestly, they said exactly what y'all have been putting out.
Period.
Put out is exactly what you need to do. Don't add to it. Don't take away from it. You know, and trust me, it kills us because there's so there's facts that we could put out there, and it would put a lot of things to rest, but we can't because of they say it can potentially cause issues to the investigation.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah. As somebody said, Smiley asked a hard question. I don't know what y'all want me to ask, because that's what you better tell me before I get off of here, because if you have anything, I'll ask 2 or 3 more questions, and I'm not going to ask any more because we've been on here 3 hours, y'all. And what do you want me to ask? Seriously.
Tired.
Make them good. Come on. I know y'all got them hard ones.
Yeah, make them good. Ask something that's not been asked before. I wasn't expecting he was going to tell me. I was on Justin's panel, and I wasn't expecting he was going to tell me to come on now. So,
Well, the reason, just to clear this up, because I had already heard that somebody in that show popped off and said, well, he don't talk to a man. Well, I'm not jumping on that show because that wasn't your show. That was his show that y'all were in. I told you and made you a promise that I'd come talk to you.
yeah.
Never promised them.
Yeah. I understand that. So, yeah. And I did tell you, hey, yeah. And you said, how do you feel about that? And I said, yeah, I will do it, and I'll fire up a live right now. So I guess you thought I'd fire up a live right now, and I would. So they said, oh, let's go over there. So it worked out.
See, they could have jumped in on your show. I wouldn't have been upset with that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have cared.
So, well, Josh came over, and
honey.
but look, yeah, but see, I have to stop there, and then I had to come fire this up over here.
Yeah, I'm
so
sorry.
Amy.
No, it's fine. It's confusing.
I don't mean
yeah,
to,
and then I
honey.
was like, I have to go to the bathroom real quick. I better do that because I don't know how this goes. I really thought you were gonna be mad at me for what I said, but anyway, I'm like,
I don't know
but
how
anyway,
I got through that.
I had to get ready. I had to get prepared to put on my boxing gloves.
No, and I mean, you put on boxing glove thing,
And it was
you
about
walking into a
3 hours.
slugfest. No,
yeah, I wasn't
I
sure.
told you what
3
I would
must be
do,
my lucky number.
and I've delivered. And like I said,
You did.
You got people out there want to ask a hard question. And I got no problem still to this day. Tell them, find me on Facebook.
Yeah.
You want to ask a question that wasn't answered in the show? Hit me up on Facebook. Send me a direct message. I'll answer you.
Yeah. Tam just wants to know before we go, she does want to know, what do you think happened to the person if they did anything to Sebastian, or somebody took him out of the house? What do you think should happen to them?
Oh, they should absolutely be punished to the fullest extent possible.
Oh, she was quick to answer that question.
I'm going to give you 2 answers. And the first answer is going to be exactly what Mom said.
Yeah.
The legal system will do its due justice.
Yeah.
My non-so-legal issue is,
There's usually a reason.
just imagine what a mama bear does
Answer a question like
when
that.
the cubs are attacked.
Yeah.
And what a mama bear could do.
Yeah.
Just leave it at that. I mean, it's. I'm not saying I'm gonna hurt somebody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the attacks. I mean, you've hurt her son, and you just hope law enforcement gets a hold of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will. I appreciate it, and I don't. I know that y'all have been through a lot, and again, I'm sorry for I had to ask you that, Katie, over there, but I wanted to know, and if I say something, I'm just going to ask it, and that's just the way that I am. I don't mean to make your lives harder, but if you're answering questions on Facebook and groups and stuff like that, I think it's all fair game. But I do want to be respectful about it. I do want to continue to bring awareness, all I can say is I'm just human too, and I just want to bring awareness to Sebastian, and hopefully somebody will see him or know what happened or come forward and get us taken care of where he can get back where he needs to be. So, is there anything else y'all would like to say?
Just thank you for helping spread the word and helping to search for my son.
Yeah.
My prayers and thoughts go out to everybody. We're all going to have our own differences of opinions, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But we pray and we have thoughts, and it's all in good kindness and good-hearted, and we love you all. And thank you, and please keep spreading the word about Sebastian. Keep him in your thoughts, keep him in your hearts, and hopefully we'll get him home very, very soon, and we'll see.
I don't
Trying to
think
do a
there's.
big old welcome home
I
back.
don't think
Absolutely.
it's me.
Absolutely.
I don't-
I'm going to
Absolutely.
run out of big public space for that.
Yeah, we're going to hold the commissioner to that.
I have a few questions.
Yep.
Pay for it.
And
Absolutely. Well, I thank you for joining me, and I won't keep you long, all night, because I know y'all are tired and everything, and I just I thank you for holding up your end of the deal.
Well, like I said, man, I meant my word. Wanted you to know it, and like I said, anybody's available to ask me a question, I'll answer them to the best of my ability as soon as I can. Ultimately, we are searching for Sebastian as a community. Everybody,
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And y'all, I appreciate everybody in here, my mods. I appreciate all the questions. I appreciate everything. And if any of y'all have any questions, you can find him on Facebook. You can message him. That's how I got a hold of him. And then I spoke with him in or I made a comment under the Hendersonville Facebook, Finding Sebastian. And I think there's more than one. I'm probably signed up to all of them. But anyway, he answered, and he's answering. And, there's nothing that we can do except continue to pray, pass out flyers, pass these around, talk about him, keep his name out, and continue to look. They want you to continue to look, search the properties that you've already searched. He could have come back. Do everything that you can. And if you see something, say something, please.
yes,
Yes, anything. Contact Bobby Simmons at 1-800-TBI-FIND. He's the investigator up there at TBI, or Brian Carter at 615-451-3838. And, we just, it's still an Amber Alert. We have to get Sebastian Rogers found, period. And that's that. So I thank you all, and I hope you have a great night. Y'all try to get some rest, okay?
ma'am. You too.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me, both of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what kind of public records are you thinking you need, or we need to get? Oh, let me check. Was that recently? You mean recently? Would it be you mean in her hometown? The only thing I see on her is the victim. Hold on a minute. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a minute. Same thing. Hold on. The only thing I'm seeing is where they're that's odd though. I'm gonna have to check into this further, because the only thing that's different though is the dates, like for her and even Kathy. Hold on a minute. Like she didn't serve it on somebody, but somebody served it on her on the 24th for victim. I think it's just for her court date though. I'm gonna have to dig into that a little bit more. I'm gonna have to go another way, another route. I live between two counties, and you can tell dispatch what county you need, and they put you right through, no waiting. What made you think that, Cripple Creek? Is that just rumor out there, or what made you specifically think that? I'm gonna check into that more though. I will, Mystic Fly. I would really like, although it's not in order, I'm going to see tomorrow, if I can find Terry Lynn's. I don't know if it's on I don't know if it's out where I can get it or not. But either way, I'll work on it. I'm going to try to go through every interview that they did. That's what I'm going to try to do, go through every interview that they did. And figure that out. You can get it, Gracie? Yes, if you would. Do you know my email address? I'm going to put it on here. Wait a minute. Hold on. I ain't even writing on here. Lord, honey, I done pushed some buttons on here. I ain't even writing. Hold on a minute. Okay. Okay. That's it. If you'll send it to my email address, that way I can download it so I can put it on the computer, and I'll go over that. And the reason that I want to go over that one first, it may not be in order, and that's okay, is because she was the one contacting him while he was on the phone, and I just want that to stay fresh in everybody's mind. And it's okay. I think that it's not in order. And we'll do hers, because I think it's interesting, and we'll do hers tomorrow. If you don't mind sending that to me, I really, really, really appreciate it. And she won't care. I know she won't. Yes, and please, she needs, y'all pray that Terry Lynn gets well soon. Those slip discs, those nerves, and all those things are not a good deal. It's not. Thank you, Gracie, so much. Thank you. Yes, please tell her. Please tell her. Because I was wondering about her, and then I was in another chat this evening for a few minutes, and I thought Terry Lynn was in there, and somebody said something, and I didn't see her. I went all the way back up, and then I'm like, what's happened to Terry Lynn? I think they're saying prayers for her. And then I went over to her page because I hadn't been over there with my mom and all the stuff that's been on. I hadn't been on many people's. I'm just now getting back in the swing of things. And I went over to her page. I'm like, she hasn't been on in a while on a live. And then I'm like, when her community post, I'm like, she hadn't posted over there. I'm like, I wonder, I'm going to ask some people what's going on. She heard it searching. Oh, bless her heart. Yeah. That's not good. And see, that's another thing that upsets me so much. You know, people give their time and everything else. And, you know, I'm sorry, but mom's just what? But everybody wants to talk about dad. But keep talking. Just keep talking. It's not right. It's not right. But yeah, we're going to go over. I decided this the other day. I thought, well, somebody said something. Why don't you go over the interviews? And I thought, why not? Everybody else has. So I thought, you know what? I do get more out of, her right arm was hurting a lot. Good Lord. It's coming from her neck, her doctor, and she's not happy. I bet. But you know, she's probably got sometimes you have to get surgery from that stuff too. She better do what them doctor says. But I'm like, why not? So I'm like, you know what? But I'm going to do all the interviews that I can find that they've done. And then now I'm thinking, since everybody's on Seth and stuff, I'm like, you know what? There's a difference. I might just go back and try to dig up all of Seth's interviews. And it's okay. You heard it on someone else's channel, Cripple Creek. I'll look into it. Yeah, I'll see what I can find out. Because, you know, I know that was a rumor before. So, I mean, before all this happened, I mean, and things like this, whether it was or not, can either make you or break you in a marriage. So, I don't know. But I will try my best. But I just thought we'd go over all of them. It may take a while, but what else have we got to do? And we can brainstorm. And I appreciate all of you for being here with me and coming in here and going back and, you know, just trying to help figure out things and put together things. And that doesn't mean anything's true. But it doesn't mean it's not. You know, doesn't mean it's not. Doesn't mean it is. Doesn't mean it's not. 50-50. Remember. So, y'all go get you some sleep. Thank you for being here. I will see you tomorrow sometime. And remember, if anybody knows anything, sees anything, hears anything, please Don't overlook it. Call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Do it anonymous. Can someone get an interview from Chris wants to be next wife girlfriend from the restaurant. I don't know. That would be nice. I don't know. Justin may be able to get ICU to track that one down. I don't know. We may have to work on some people. Justin said we're going to do another panel together. Maybe me and him have to work on that one and have her and both of us do that one together. We may have to chummy up ICU to go find her. Seriously, she's the one that said he come to the bar with the and didn't order anything but sweet tea. Oh, what did Dolly find? Hold on a minute. And Annabelle, I got to tell you something before you leave. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Dolly found, I already told the chat for you come in, but I got to tell you again anyway. I can't do two things at once. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Who told me this? What did Dolly find? Hold on. Dolly. Oh, he found, okay. Dolly was on earlier and he found a camp in the woods. Thought it better if you looked it up first before you mentioned it in chat. But evidently chat knows about it. So a camp in the woods, but I don't know where in the woods. They didn't tell me where in the woods. But listen, so I don't know anything about it. I hadn't looked it up, obviously. But evidently somebody knows about it in chat. So I don't know what Dolly found. He found a chat thing. But listen, but this is about Hawkins County. Guess what, Annabella? Did you hear this? Right before I come on tonight, guess what happened in Hawkins County, girl? The Pressman's home caught on fire. That's per Scanner. Yes, Scanner Food. The Pressman's home. Oh, you didn't hear either? You wasn't in here? Yeah. Imagine that. Now, remember last time, I'm just saying, FYI, I'm just saying, seems like last time it was the horse stables. This time it was I ain't saying nobody. I'm just saying all these fires get started when people start coming. I ain't saying the people that comes. I'm just saying that it happens. That is weird to me. I know people was pissed off people's coming. Start writing the lies, Smiley, from the interview. It will blow your mind. Yeah, I got somebody else helping me try to remember that, and I'm writing some stuff down too, Cripple Creek, because there's so many. There's so many. So many. And look, Annabella, I just want to say this. Everybody was probably getting their beauty sleep. Look, this is just for all entertainment purposes, but there was no entertainment on YouTube from Inti. And I said, Inti? Anyone? Anybody? There was nobody, honey, on a live at all when that was announced. Nobody. I'm like, what the heck? So there's that. People, seriously, if y'all have any information on sweet Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, please call into 1-800-TBI-FIND. Please say his name. Please say his name. Please say his name. Please say his name. And the Pressman house had to do with Summer Wells case. Remember? It was mentioned all through the Summer Wells case. Just Google it. The Pressman's home in Hawkins County, Tennessee. And please remember Summer Moon Utah Wells. If you have any information on Summer, please call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Summer Wells is the reason that I came to YouTube. And Summer Wells is never to be forgotten. She certainly won't be forgotten by me. And Sebastian will certainly never be forgotten by me. So there's that. There's that. Did the Proudfoots not have any friends that could be talked to or what? You know, I think everybody's honestly scared to open their mouth if you want to know the truth about it. But what I would like to know is this. Somebody always has a character witness or something that somebody can come out and say something good about. A neighbor, a co-worker, an acquaintance. Some of that money could talk. There's nothing, nobody. Where are they at? Hell, I seen on Second Generation Construction that Terry Bowersox gave a freaking false review. Well, I ain't gonna say it was a false review, but gave a review. Why would he give a review on Bryant's company? I'm just saying. But yet, my point is, money, you can't buy Chris a review? I'm just saying. Lord be. It must be real bad then. Anyway, y'all have a great night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Did you hear me? Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Do it for Sebastian. Y'all have a great night. Thank you. Bye-bye.